spaghetti on my mic.
Okay. So Dr. Ogden rushes into the tavern, hearing all sorts of songs of Vasily being sung by the patrons and hummed under their breath. The general tune is, "Oh, Basilio is great and Basilio is grand. He slew many, many goblins with the swing of his hand. Oh, he went on down to the goblin cave. And this is what he did when he found those knaves. He sliced them up and down. He filled them with arrows. He came back with our townsfolk. What a great heroes!" Oh.
Aren't you normally the one singing this, Vasilia?
I would imagine, but this is good. I like this too.
No,
I
man,
found some music to go along with it while we were going.
he has it's clearly a very catchy tune that might be in everyone in the bar's head already.
It's my friggin' worst nightmare come true. Why am I here?
I'm not saying that Basilio was here for much longer than everyone else because he had the shortest amount of time in his little side mission, which then led to everyone learning his slowly expanded upon story.
Yes, greatness.
But
Exactly
yeah.
what happened. Don't lie to us, DM. That was a good song, though.
Yep.
Oh,
I hope
Thank
you
you.
were catching that on the stream, Troy.
Absolutely.
But of course.
Preserved for all time.
That's about to become a vine. Or whatever they call vines nowadays.
TikToks,
TikTok?
I believe, yes.
That's...
Vines are so old-fashioned.
oh goodness.
What is this? The 2000 teens?
So as Dr. Armin gets in, oh hey, where did he go? Oh, you're definitely here, buddy. I said you weren't here, but you are definitely here.
Who the hell is that?
Ronan. Everyone other than you has met him already.
Oh yeah, I have a sword made by this man. What are you doing here, Ronan? Well met.
I think that you'd know. We were both just out seeing the great old master together. Now, everyone
yeah.
was just recounting where they were, and I was very interested in hearing your stories, especially of Basilio, because it just seems so catchy.
I mean, who wouldn't want to hear my story? It's kind of the idea of me. I'm magnificent.
Just note that I am heavily rolling my eyes at this guy.
So wait, you want me to tell my story first?
If you would
You're
like
gonna
to, yeah. Ronan would like to, if no one has a complaint.
Okay, yeah.
I
you
raise
can
my
start.
mug.
Ronan can kick it off. My story is vast and epic, and it should probably go last to not overshadow others.
Please tell me that didn't load.
Something
It
loaded.
Didn't.
Oh, good.
I didn't see it.
Okay, good.
We're just gonna pretend we didn't see the giant dragon?
Yes, I think that's
What
you
giant dragon?
Flashbacks to the teleportations.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
That was
I thought it was actually just a loading screen.
I see it whenever I close my eyes.
I'm more thinking of Vasilio casting a giant dragon like an idiot, an illusion, and trying to speak in Draconic. Failing
It happened
miserably.
one time.
One time too many.
It still worked, my friend, and that's the important part of the story that people need to remember. Vasilio saved the day.
So, Vasilio, you were telling me that this little boy came to you and said that he needed help rescuing his mother from goblins.
It seemed like such a simple mission, especially for one as esteemed and talented as myself. So I accepted, of course. And even if my companions weren't there, I figured I could handle this.
and you all hear a slow rumbling chorus from the rest of the tavern.
Oh. We'll gather in, everyone, and
Grand. He slew
prepare
many,
your ears for a tale.
Just know that anything he says, approximately 10% of it is true, or at least that's the magnitude.
Ha! Come now, my jealous compatriot.
And
Have no fear. My storytelling art is without parallel. And so I stand up on the table as I address Alfonso, and then address the entire crowd, and then I have my violin out for dramatic moments where I'm like, dun, dun. So I'm first I went to the cave, following the boy's address, and it turned out not to be goblins, but orcs, many orcs. Dun, dun, I put on a fiddler's hush tune, hitting a deep note. They were accompanied by dozens of bloodthirsty giants. And I really emphasized the point. So I knew I had to act. I knew the damsel inside was not safe.
See,
I
look,
told
the
the boy to
visual
hide.
representation of this event. They're disappearing. There's less of them than he claims.
We've already come inside the cave. After I cloaked myself in disguise, I moved amongst the ranks and sowed deceit. I let them know that the great Vasilio was on his way, and many rattled in their boots. At least half were scared from the premise at the very idea of Vasilio attacking their cave. When only 50 orcs remained and perhaps 6 giants, I knew I had to make my move.
And perhaps
I laid my
6
traps.
giants.
And prayed for the Lady of Luck. And then I unleashed hell. With my bow, I struck hard and fast, killing 2, sometimes 3 at a time. When my opponents finally closed the gap, only 12 orcs and 2 giants remained. I drew my blade and put on such a dazzling display of swordsmanship. I cut, I slashed, and the orcs died en masse. And the giants were soon cut down. Where did I write? That doesn't make sense. Okay, yeah. I stood upon the battlefield with no enemies upon me, and I eventually retrieved the damsel, bringing her to safety. The Lady of Luck shined upon me, for I had received no scars on the battlefield that day, and slain many enemies. I believe the entire Wolverine clan of the orcs was put down.
The Wolverine clan of the orcs?
Aye, Alfonso, and you'll
You're
never
not
have
even
them again.
trying anymore.
It was great work. And then I just start putting on a fiddler's jig and cutting off any further questions. To
My
the cheers
God,
of
you
the
think
audience.
I spent days with you in the wilderness?
No further questions.
It wasn't a question, you idiot.
So, yeah, like leading a chant in my name and disappearing into the crowd.
Is he crowd surfing?
That's kind of what I imagined, but I'm hoping David would be there to back me up. If they're not crowd surfing me, I'm just jigging into the crowd as they're cheering for me. I imagine.
some of your most roll me a performance roll for that
Nice.
with advantage.
Okay.
You don't have to make many rolls today. Every luck chance.
There's no need for. Did I put my expertise into performance? Yeah, I wrote performance and stealth as my expertise. So I get +4 proficiency, but it doesn't show up. So +2 more than this roll.
Okay.
Is it go advantage and? Yeah, okay. So 17.
Yeah. So some of your most oh my God, what's the word for
Adoring?
the adjective before admirers? Yes, some of your most adoring admirers are there to catch you. Certainly not an entire tavern full of people, but at least 6.
That works for me. Yeah. Woo!
One for every
imagined
giant.
Way more, so it matters not.
And then can I get 6 attack rolls?
Oh yeah, of course. Alright, let's do 3 with the bow. Bang, bang, bang.
I received no scars as he hides the giant gash on his chest.
And sword attack, sword attack, sword attack.
They all had
Wow,
advantage.
2 critical misses.
Wow.
They all had advantage.
I don't
They all
think
had
so.
advantage.
That's my storytelling. Told
And
you I was
then-
good.
Going to need one more attack with your short sword, please.
Alright. Hey, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You suck,
problem.
Basilio.
Excuse me. I saved the damsel and slayed nearly 100 orcs.
Mhm.
I'm like raising my eyebrow, nodding towards you, like, yeah. You
Oh,
should
yeah.
be impressed.
I believe you. I'm so proud of you.
I bow to you, and then take that as confirmation of my greatness.
Greatness confirmed.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Alfonso.
Must truly be nice to be able to lie to yourself so easily and actually believe it.
I don't know what you mean. And then I sit down, and I turn to the barmaid. A drink for all of my friends. Now I'm gonna see how much money I actually have. I got 1 gold and 20 silver. That's enough for drinks, right?
No, you have another 10 gold.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
damn. How much does a horse cost?
Uncertain. I think substantially more than 10 gold, but you were given that as you've been recounting your story for the last week.
Yeah. I think Vasilio needs a horse.
I think
So
they're
he can
pretty
be
expensive.
above the crowd. Proclaim his greatness.
I'm pretty sure Basilio should probably focus on not having pets that have more intelligence than he does.
Perhaps.
Oh.
Perhaps. I shall get a dumb horse. Just to make Alfonso happy.
What a rousing story, Vasilio. Oh, I can't imagine slaying 50 orcs and half a dozen giants all by yourself.
Just like nod in like humble acknowledgement. Thank you, friend. Yes.
I must accompany you at some point. See this for myself.
I mean, perhaps my greatness is on display daily, but I wouldn't want to risk your life. My friends and I do battle with some fierce enemies.
We're supposed to be looking at the caves right now, right? We're not supposed to be in the tavern?
I should have taken you back to the tavern. Thank you.
Okay, I just
Sorry, my
wanted to
cheating
make
was
sure.
Bring
Yeah.
him in, David.
Sorry, I thought Nick was gonna. I thought he was gonna go slightly longer.
Oh, no.
It was certainly sounding like it. It was very Basilio believable babble.
Shit. After that, I feel like I came to school and having not done my homework.
Oh,
I mean, I wrote that in the last 20 minutes. Yes.
Oh.
Like, I had a pretty good idea of what I wanted to say, and I've been thinking about it all day, and then I just wrote it down just before we went to play.
So we're supposed to write our own story?
Well,
No,
I didn't know how
so,
David wanted us to do it.
Oh.
I specifically talked to Nick because he's a bard. And
Oh,
if
okay.
anyone, he's a bard who has, on multiple occasions, spun tall tales about what actually happened.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, it wouldn't have
beautiful.
mattered. Like he would have made up a story anyways, just because that's how Basilio rolls.
Exactly.
Like David could have said, "This is what happens," and Basilio would be like, "No, no, not as
There
a
were-
bard. That's not what happened."
I was more great than that.
There were no other
No idea,
survivors.
my friend. Greatness unsurpassed.
I'm just gonna say something might have happened when there were rolls rolled, but I don't know what could have happened there.
Nor do I. I only remember the great tale.
hmm and there were 2 critical failures.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
That's not how he remembers.
not. No. There were 2 times that you would have gotten critical failures if not for advantage.
Oh, yeah, I see them.
Lady Luck.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could even say I used 2 of my luck points on that, and now I'm down to 1. I don't know what the
You
like
could
actual
say that,
gauge of the like play there was. 'Cause,
but
like, I don't know if you're giving me
Look to
experience for
me.
doing that side story. If you want to take life and stats from me, that seems to make sense. If you're giving me experience in exchange.
Oh, no. Just
Well, you can't have them then.
as you did things by yourself. Number 6. I'm not gonna say anything about the weight that you feel lifting from your chest. I'm just gonna say that you might want to look down at your chest at some point in time. Winky face.
Oh, that gash I got from the tree? Ah, yes. I rolled over while I was sleeping and gashed myself. Unfortunate.
No. I mean, like the amulet that's been sitting on your chest, that did 5 things.
Oh, yeah. Duh, I forgot that the effectiveness of that. That's cool. That's why. Yeah. I know what it does.
5 things until now.
Yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying, and I actually have been trying to use that for a long time, but no scenario presented itself.
It seems that the heavens has just opened up and coughed. What could this mean?
Sometimes you just, accept these blessings for what they are.
Sickness and plague?
Oh, that's not right.
Look around. I do not believe so.
Okay.
My fans look healthy.
Thank goodness for that.
Oops. Sorry, that should have been this
Indeed.
one. That's this one.
Have you been to this town before, Vasilio?
Well, no, of course not. But I am loved wherever I go. It's not something that is unusual to me.
Oh, word of your name travels fast. You're certainly
I tip my
attaining
hat
your
to you.
goals.
Well, I can't say that you folks haven't helped me in that regard. I mean, it was mostly me, but you were all there.
I doubt I shall ever meet someone like you again.
I agree.
Thank your lucky stars for
And me
that.
mostly. I raised my glass.
I clink it with my much larger glass.
Indeed. But do tell me of your stories, my fellows. I'm sure you got up to interesting things.
So Ronan's gonna nudge Craig and be like, "So you want to talk about how we got up to the Dwarven Mountain?"
Well, yeah, that was I just really wanted to go underground again.
Just couldn't wait.
The cramped
Well,
ceilings.
after that unfortunate encounter on the way to this town, that was, let's just say I needed some time away. Needed a way to maybe get stronger, take my mind off of failing there. That was, yeah, we'll go with
So
that.
what-
I thought it was
what-
dead. That was
What
really
place that you
eye-opening.
went?
What?
You're saying you went underground, so you to the main hall?
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. I really wanted to see what they're all about, take some time away, get out of the taverns, get away from the goblins and the undead, and pick up some new skills. And they all have knives.
So, I think that was where we met. I think you came running into the Great Hall, and I was with Fjorlin, and I said, "Hey, I recognize you guys."
Yeah, you made me this finely crafted sword, which I am ever thankful for you.
Could have been so much finer crafted if it wasn't. The Great Master would just train me, and then Fjorlin will say, "The Great Master does not take any apprentice. The Great Master is very picky. I don't even think you know where the Great Master is. None of us do."
Well, that's mysterious.
Well, I should say, none of us commoners do.
Oh, I see. So he doesn't make weapons for you all.
Why would the Great Master sully his hands on weapons?
What does he make then? I assumed from what Ronan said he would learn to make a blade.
Fjorlin's just being obtuse. I'm sure he makes weapons.
And I'm certain he would make them for us if he knew I was here.
Well, maybe I'll drop your name next time.
Indeed.
So, he's the greatest blacksmith in all of these lands. I've been trying very hard to get an audience with the Dwarven magistrate. But every time I try, I keep getting bounced because I'm not a dwarf. I'm just a human.
Well,
And
I
they
am.
keep saying that they want help with some problem first, but I just want to learn.
I'm certainly no stranger to xenophobic tribes. That's for sure. My own tribe scoffed at the notion of humans as well, but that's why I left.
No, I think they think I'm just greedy. I think I want to steal from the old masters, what they keep saying. We're not all like that.
Yes,
Oh,
What species is he?
he's a human.
Human.
Oh. Huh.
Well, if
You know, dwarves and their closely guarded secrets. Yada
If they
yada
wouldn't-
yada.
if they wouldn't talk for a human, there's a little hope of me talking to anybody interesting down here, is there?
So Fjorlin's gonna say they would totally talk to him. He just had to agree to help them with their problem. They're not being unreasonable. You are, Ronan.
Wait, who's Farrellin? Is he just some dude?
Farrell. No, she's You think she's a dude because she has a beard?
Oh no, I didn't zoom in that much. It was a bad assumption. I'm sorry. You know, all you humans look alike.
We can't see the names.
Is it a
Oh, I'm
dwarf?
so sorry. Yes, she's a dwarf.
Oh,
okay.
actually we can't. Sorry, in the wrong place here.
Wait,
Ronan,
you guys
Noah.
can't see the names?
I can.
Yeah.
I
Alright.
can.
Okay, yeah. What I
She's
thought.
a dwarf. You also saw her back in the Broken Plow Tavern.
Oh, perfect. Well met, Farrellin. What is it that you do around here? And thank you for letting me into your halls.
I'm the special envoy to the 10 towns. So it's my task to be the go-between between the Dwarven Kingdom here in mountain name.
Mount Doom.
Are you what clan do you hail from?
We're all from the Stonebeards.
The Stonebeards. Brilliant. I've never met one before.
Well, you can now meet all of us. And as you've been talking, a few other dwarves have started to just like cover on the ruckus. Some of them start to look you up and down, and they say, "Hey guys, there's a centaur here. Have you seen a centaur before?" Oh, not in the flesh, only in the stone. My goodness.
Do you
it's a
mean
pleasure
there's
to meet you.
statues of my people this far north?
I wouldn't call them statues.
What do you mean, Alfonso?
I just wouldn't call them statues. Let's leave it at that.
Well, I'd never be one to undersell someone's art. You know, it's
So,
all in the expression.
as Alfonso says that, the dwarf taps the side of his nose and just kind of nods.
Just I'll
Masterful
leave it to you-
stoneworkers, all here, I'm sure.
I'll leave it to you to see them your first time. I wouldn't want to ruin your awe.
Wait, have you been here before, Alfonso?
Ah, yeah. You know what they say: loose lips sink ships.
Actually, in all my
That
travels,
prison-
I have yet to be on a ship. For obvious
well.
reasons, perhaps.
Maybe one day you'll feel up to trying it then.
Maybe one day. Certainly one day.
Can you swim?
Slowly.
Just like an
I-
odd.
Yeah.
I could
No,
I
once
could
it's
swim
naturally
very
swims, so
slowly.
I would assume it's not too different for a centaur.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sorry, what's that?
Can horses
centaurs
swim?
swim? I know.
I believe
Horses
so.
can
Yeah.
swim.
So we can ford and float and
So would like your waist up
but,
out
like,
of the water,
more
or
important-
would you be up to like your shoulders?
I think
No,
I think
you'd
it's
be up
waist
to
up.
like, yeah.
Okay. Just yeah. Sorry.
Actually,
it's all
that might
based
be
on-
more effective in fighting in water than any of you.
Well, you
that
can certainly
reason.
be in a lot deeper water and still be standing. That's for sure.
That's true as well. Might
You
I
could
take
probably
advantage
wade
of that
through like
someday.
10 feet of water and still be okay.
Yeah, I do sit a bit taller. Anyway, yeah, that's neither here nor there. We're talking about dwarven cities now. Hello, new friends.
Good segue.
What brings a centaur all the way out here?
Well, you can call me a tourist. I'm just exploring, seeing who's around, exploring new cultures. And, well, the dwarves have always been very impressive. More so than perhaps the shanties and 10 towns.
And he watches like a few of them just start flexing their muscles, like, yeah, we are impressive. The one that was the most beguiled by your praise is this fellow here in white plate.
Oh, dude, that guy's got some awesome armor.
Beguiled.
And he says, yes, we are most impressive. We have the greatest foundries, the greatest smiths, the greatest waterfalls, the greatest mine, and on top of all of that, we have the greatest princess.
Yeah, and how long's her beard, I wonder.
He puts a big smile on his face. He says, how can you believe how long her beard is? My goodness, it goes all the way down to her knees. It does. What a beauty!
Can hardly imagine how you contain yourself.
Oh, you don't.
Well, as long as none of you are jumping me, that's fine by my books. Not that you can reach, if you catch my meaning.
So he looks you up and he says, "No, I think you'd be a touch too large for us to ride." Sorry.
Anyways.
I read something the other day, and it was a centaur. In its character sheet, it says, centaurs are medium-sized creatures, but they can be ridden by medium-sized creatures.
Yes, isn't it glorious?
Make a tower of centaurs.
Yeah. Although I would harbor no such thing.
Oh, sorry. Just made me giggle.
Just a
Yeah,
good
I-
mental image, eh, David?
I remember that from session 0.
Aha!
Oh, sorry, guys.
David's all hot and bothered now.
The dwarf in the shiny steel plate will say to you, "So, why did you come here? Which one of our greatnesses did you come to be in awe of?"
Which one of your greatnesses? Well, to be honest, I'm just hearing about them now. I just wanted to see your city from my own eyes. You know, might that I be imposing, but perhaps this better be discussed over ale.
And you see a giant smile come from his mouth. And he says, "Of course. We have some of the greatest ale that has ever that will ever pass through your lips."
Now that I
and
have
then-
heard tales of.
He rushes over to meet with these very drunk dwarves. You hear just like a whole bunch of hushed whispering.
So what do you think,
Anyway.
Alfonso? Why have you joined me on this venture?
Well,
Never thought you for one like a tourist like myself.
I'm obviously not here to be a tourist, but I have heard great stories about dwarven smiths and the way that they control their fires. I must admit that I'm kind of curious if I can learn anything from them in terms of fire control, and if I can apply that to my magic spells.
Oh, well, that's very interesting.
When you say that, you'll hear just like a bunch of dwarves go.
And what does that mean?
He thinks the fire's the important part. Humans.
Well, I'm gonna. Why don't you enlighten us then? We've heard much of smithing in our travels, but certainly not from the experts, as it were.
So Ronan's gonna pipe up. Ronan right now, but Tavern Ronan. He's gonna say, "Well, the Great Master told us all about it. You guys are really going so slowly to get to the point. Won't you just get to the point where we got to the Great Master already?"
Well, everything is important in the grand adventure of life, but I suppose you're right. I did not want to hear about drinking
that
adventures.
wasn't a chugga chugga. That was more. Sorry, that was more of a. They're not going to answer that, but not because.
Oh, okay, I seriously thought you were just good for like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw this story right forward.
Oh yeah, I thought that was a fast forward sound effect. Yes.
No. Sorry, that was Ronan just cutting you off and being like, "You learned everything about smithing from the Great Master. The words that came out of these common dwarves were useless in comparison."
Well, you can never call the word of anyone useless. It's all important in context and to frame what we've learned.
Well, I think that you did drink that giant ale.
Well, you're
think that
damn
might
right
have
I
been worth
did.
describing.
You know, I know a little bit about dwarves and how much they love their ale, so I figured our best first impression was to impress them onto my fortitude of the ale. So
can you
I
roll a con save?
a con save it is. Ho! And with one mighty gulp.
You downed the entire jug, not even wobbling from the effects afterwards. It was the sweetest and nicest ale that had ever passed your lips, but it certainly wasn't nearly enough to get you inebriated, made for these tiny-bodied dwarfs.
I bow very acutely and hand them back the mug and say, "Yeah, the tales were true. This is the finest ale I have ever drank."
And then you hear a cheer. It's a clay mug, and he takes it and he throws it against the wall, and it smashes. You notice a little like a tiny kiln just above you.
Oh, that we can't see.
That I
On the
am
map
totally
itself.
looking up for the picture of, because this is a thing that people do in human places that I just remembered that is definitely fitting for these dwarves. Just there's a kiln here. I'm getting it.
I believe you.
A kiln where this mug is.
Yep, the kiln is up where the mug is. So he smashes the mug against the wall, breaking the clay. He then pushes the clay into a pile of other broken clay that will be forged into a fresh mug for the next person that comes and joins them.
I can't
Seems
stop a
slightly
laugh at the
wasteful.
genius of it. Every mug as unique as the drink inside it.
And he smiles. He says, "In every mug, 1,000 travelers and 1,000 dwarfs."
Genius.
I'm just gonna kind of stand there and shake my head at the supreme wastefulness of it all.
So it's just a fire pit for now.
That's all the mug
The
shards
spicy
around
fire
it.
pit, okay?
A spicy fire pit.
And he says, "How else could he have the perfect? Could she have the perfect mug just for her? If we didn't make it."
Yes, the craftsmanship of dwarves, you know?
I might be tempted to follow that line of thought if you had actually crafted it specifically for her and not just made it ahead of time and it happened to go to her.
You didn't see them make it, so in your recounting of the tale, you don't really know.
I would not underestimate them. Who knows? But it would no doubt give their craftsmen much more practice at the craft.
And the fellow that is making mugs gives you a curt nod.
The mug maker.
No, sorry, go ahead.
I couldn't help but overhear from Forlin here that you find dwarves needed help with something. Might that
Yes.
I
There's
assist you if I can.
We haven't been able to continue deeper into our mines. The deeper we go, the more troubles we run into.
And what kind of troubles might that be?
As is delving into the wilds in any area, no doubt.
No, this isn't like the normal wilds. If it were just a basilisk or a Chul or an Umberhulk or any one of these monsters, or even the Drow, we could handle them. We've dealt with things such as that. This is something far more sinister.
What, pray tell, would it be that has you so riled?
It's a never-ending gush of water. This water isn't just water. The water is icy cold, yet flaming to touch.
See, the very in detail minutia of our segue earlier was relevant.
Huh?
We may ford this river. So there's Alfonso. Is that possible? Sounds like magic is at play.
I mean, it would have to be because dwarves are scared of water. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, they're scared of this particular water, but the biggest reason why they're scared of this particular water is because it is some sort of enchanted. It's not an enchantment to do with runes. It's not an enchantment to do with the earth, and it has put them at their wits' end. They don't have anyone that's trained in the arcane. They are completely stone and rune based people.
Yeah, like dwarves will have clerics, but not wizards.
Yeah.
Well,
So
but lucky we had my grumpy friend here that we might get to the bottom of this for you.
Wait,
Oh,
this
hold
you're a
up,
wizard?
hold up.
You're a wizard, Harry?
Hold up. Number one, I'm not Harry. You are. Number two,
Get in that
True
fucking
words.
broom closet.
before we talk any more about this problem of yours that I am apparently the one qualified to look at, what's in it for me?
Well, I'm certain the dwarves would not swindle us.
We'll
They're
we'll
an
have to
honorable
ask.
folk.
We'll have to ask the great cleric. So
Okay.
hi-ho,
I would love to meet with
hi-ho,
him
It's
or her.
off to the main hall we go. Hi-ho, 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 ho, hi-ho.
Might I say that your music is splendid.
Oh, many thanks. So as the dwarf in the steel armor walks up to the
Oh my god, it's the leader of the Yellow Turban Rebellion.
as he walks up to the door, he is stopped by the two bannermen, and they ask him, "What is your business?" He says, "We found a wizard. Finally, a wizard. We might be able to solve this awful flooding problem. Bring this wizard to me." So he grabs you and he just kind of pulls you along. Do you resist? Or did you resist?
I wouldn't be standing there trying to yank my arm out of his hand, but I would, I wouldn't be totally following either. It'd be like a slight tug back, like I can walk myself.
Okay. So as he brings you in, he claps you on the back, and he says, "This great Gjornir, leader of our clan."
I think we
Sorry,
lost you
did
there
you
for a
say a
sec there,
name?
David.
Jornir.
Gornier. Jornier?
Jornir.
Gornier.
I definitely didn't just have to make that up myself and then get caught up on different sounds.
That's beautiful. It's Nordic.
It's been written down. What are you gonna do about it?
Well, that's the dream.
Fight
I was actually picturing a BJ. I mean,
Can
that's not what I meant, but like a
Can you
BJ
see the
Bjorn.
effort?
Bjorn.
Say-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what
so like,
pervert.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
okay.
I like the B better. So here you go, Bjornir.
Bjornir.
Bjorn. BJJ.
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 Bjornir.
I said I liked it better, not instead of.
You really got to put a solid G between the BJ there.
Bjornir. Mr.
Uh,
Bridge.
So Bjornir is going to ask you, what do you know of draconic magic?
Draconic
oh.
Knight.
What
Quite a
don't I
fair
know?
amount. What,
Kinda wanna-
why do you ask?
So he taps on a little panel behind him, and he says, "Come, follow him."
Yeah, no questions asked, I'm following.
So you walk into what
Use
appears to
draconic
be a
magic.
stone wall, and then the wall goes and shuts behind you.
Whoa,
Uh,
that was so cool.
He
Was that magic?
no, just cleverly placed mechanisms.
Oh, even better.
So he shows you a set of runes, and he says, "This is the history of our people." As you can see here, many, many years ago, we allied with the orcs, something I couldn't imagine that we did, but it's written here in the stones, to fight back the great dragon. It was said that the great dragon not only attacked in the frozen tundras, but also filled the entirety of our mines with an awful fire. This water reminds me of that fire. It says here that her fire was cold to the touch. It was cold when you got near it, but when you touched it, burned. Just
Sorry
like
to interrupt,
water.
David. Just would there be like an actual description of this dragon in these runes? Like
There
if I
would be.
saw it, would I kind of link it back to the dragon we saw when we were teleporting?
You would link it back to exactly that dragon if you were able to read the runes.
Alright.
Since we are in a flashback, this makes it way more difficult.
Oh my god, metagaming.
No, do you know if you are attuned to an item? Like, do you feel that?
Yes.
Yeah, you
attuning
would feel
to-
if you're.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Basically, the item speaks to you when you become attuned to it, and it tells you what's up.
Oh,
that's
like
if it's
the most
sentient.
Oh.
Well,
In the
like,
most
even if
basic
it's
way,
not,
you
it
feel
kinda,
a connection to it.
shows you.
Yeah.
Okay,
idea.
well,
Magic and such.
how do I show to players? Show to everyone. Here you go. So you picked these up. You didn't even realize it.
Nice.
Whoa. Cool.
Awesome.
So, the spectacles that you picked up in the Wizard's Tower let you read any language, but they don't decode any secret messages except for the Wizard's Journal.
Nice.
Interesting.
So, as you read through the
Oh
as you
god.
read through the runes, you're told of an icy white dragon, Sindragosa.
I know her.
Nice.
So I had a different name. I can't remember right now. It's too late.
Now she's Sindragosa.
Who was one of the strongest dragons known to the area. tells you of how she was defeated by a great the word I'm looking for, a great alliance of all of the races in the area,
Coalition.
including dwarves, drow, orcs, and men. All of who were being pushed out of their ancestral homes by her.
Nice.
It then goes on to discuss all of the awful things that she was capable of doing, including breathing an icy fire, which first burnt all of the flesh off of your bones, then left frozen icicles that shattered as they fell.
That's fucking brutal.
Along with a disappointingly brief description of the battle where she was slain that simply says the heroes of legend went into her lair and defeated her.
Helpful.
Even the great old seers didn't know what happened once the heroes of legend went in. All that we know is that the threat was no more. So Bjornir is going to then say, I'd like for you to investigate, and if at all possible, rid our minds of this awful fluid.
Just out of curiosity, do you know, like, does he know who the heroes are? Like, what their names are?
Their names have been lost to the passage of time.
All right.
You can only know them as the heroes of legend.
Very well. Well, we can definitely look into this river of fiery water. But,
Back in the fiery water.
And then he'll say, if you can find out how to control it, there'll be 200 gold for you. If you can't, there'll be 50 gold for braving your way down. I'll send you with a battalion of my 7 fiercest dwarves. But I don't think it's a good idea for this meddlesome human or for you to take your beast of burden down.
My beast of burden, you say? Well, despite her looks, she has her uses.
Have you ever seen a centaur in a cave?
If nothing else, she can stand between myself and some troublesome problem.
Have you ever seen an eagle try to swim through water?
I have not, but an eagle is not a centaur.
No,
Hey, leave it behind, goddammit.
and the eagle is much more at home than the centaur is in a cave.
Very well. If you think it that strongly that I should go down with just your battalion, then I guess that will be so.
So he scoffs and he says, just my battalion. My battalion has slain hundreds upon hundreds of beasts in the Underdark. This excursion is something they've done many times.
Yes, I'm sure they are fantastic and that I am in the utmost best of care. I have great
Somebody's
faith.
overcompensating.
I must say, Alfonso, this is the first I've heard of this slight. It really paints the priest in a different light in my mind.
Are you even within your range of me? I don't even
No,
know.
no, that's in the tavern.
Oh, yeah.
That's like,
No,
oh,
I'm
wow.
sure if you were to
What
get
a-
close to the priest, you
uh.
probably would not be overly fond of him, but I feel that's probably the case with most beings.
Most beings?
Most beings.
I like most people if they're...
It's not whether you like them, it's whether they like you.
Oh, well,
Everyone seems to love me.
that is true.
Nobody loves you, Basilio.
I believe only you dislike me, and I'm not sure why. We all win you over, my friend. Do go on with your story.
Like an
Sorry,
old
I
married
actually-
couple, you are.
I actually really need to go to the washroom really quick. I'll be right back in a minute, guys.
So I'm just over here nudging Forlorn, being like, "Oh, this is your lucky day. A draconic wizard they want. Wow. My grumpy friend is all about that."
Oh, this is perfect. If there's someone dealing with that, then we can maybe finally get Ronan to leave our great hall.
Well, certainly he leaves for the tavern every once in a while. I've seen him around.
Well, that's where I found him. He hasn't been there since I brought him back here.
Well, now that you mention it, it's been a while since I was there as well. He's very dedicated to his craft, it seems.
I've never met one more stubborn and more pig-headed, but I guess you could say dedicated.
Indeed. Well, I guess if the only path forward is the path of a warrior, and he is not one, that is his loss.
So she's going to say, no, there's many paths forward that are not the path for a warrior.
Oh,
There's...
I thought that was the condition upon getting an audience with the Great Master.
No, that's the condition for the cleric to even consider it.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
It's a very simple case of we need our back scratched. I went out to the cities of 10 towns to find someone who was able to look into this water. He refused to even have an audience with me until I found them. And Ronan refused to leave our great hall until he had an audience with the Great Master. And I can't very well leave an unattended human trying to search around finding the Great Master in what did Ronan say the Great Master would be? By the greatest fires that could be found. Looking for a death sentence he would be.
Well, I see your point. I'm surprised you haven't thrown him out.
We're well known for dwarven hospitality.
Well, I've certainly appreciated it.
And this whole time, Ronan in the tavern has been looking down, like, this wasn't. I'm sure this didn't happen, guys. We saw the master. Nothing bad happened.
Well, I just said Alfonso was bringing to light slights from his private conversation. I figured it would be just to do the same. I'm sorry, Ronan.
Well, I don't think Fjorlin said those things. So here, I'm gonna
Wouldn't
put it
call me
my.
out.
I'm gonna say it from my way. So we went in, and the great cleric was all like, "Hey, look, it's a wizard. I need a wizard." And then he was like, "Hey, you guys found me a wizard. Thank you." And I was like, "Oh, hey, no problem, great cleric. I totally found you this wizard." And then we saw the Great Master.
Wait. I'm sorry, Ronan. We came of our own accord and met you there.
And I brought you to the Great Cleric, didn't I? Was I not walking beside you? The Great Cleric thinks I brought you to the Great Cleric. We saw the Great
There was
Master.
ulterior motive all along. I see you for who you are.
My God, I think you have to be tied with Basilio and people that make up stuff about stories. Incredible, really.
Yes, that is a metric. But
I'm not saying that I brought you to the Dwarven Kingdom. I'm saying that I brought you in to see the Great Master. Or the Great Cleric. We all went together.
well, going together does not mean the same thing as brought.
So my recollection was that the Great Cleric, as soon as he had found Alfonso, walked out and proclaimed, "To my 7 strongest men, it's time to go on an expedition to the great old master You can take them to your grotto.
You cut out a bit there. Can you repeat that?
You can take them to your grotto. We found what we were looking for. You may return to your tasks, and then you'll watch Fjorlin just give a giant sigh of relief. Oh, thank goodness! I was so sick of being an emissary. I really don't think that slate that I gave was worth a full demotion to emissary.
A demotion. I still think being an emissary to another culture is just a fantastic role. One that should be your best.
And it was a fantastic role, and I very much enjoyed my time in Ten Towns. The things that I learned that I can apply to my trade. But I really do have to get back to applying them to my trade. So she'll look at you, at Kreia, and say, now, Kreia, you said that you were coming here to learn what part of smithing?
Oh. Well,
Know you the basics?
I am a warrior. I do, actually. I've gleaned, well, not perhaps at your level, but I've gleaned the use of smithing weapons and armor from giant culture.
So you've gleaned from giant culture, so you know how to turn a rock into a rounder rock.
Well, I wouldn't, It's perhaps not as simple as that. They have many very potent smiths, and that is an overgeneralization.
Potent, like smelling?
My, there are civilizations that you have never even conceived of out there. It would be foolish to dismiss them as such. To think they're just the simple giants you find in the foothills. But yes, I fancy myself a warrior.
I'm not
trained in.
dismissing
Well,
them.
sorry.
I'm asking you, do you know how to make a weapon out of iron? No,
I do,
not
yes.
even a weapon. Do you know how to make steel?
Yes, I can fashion raw materials into weapons, given the time and the tools.
Well then, if you know everything you need to know, let's get started. There's no point in us starting.
Wait, let's get started. There's no point in us starting.
Sorry,
I
if you know
confuse
everything
your
there is to know, then there's no point in us starting, is there?
Well, I mean to say I know the craft, but I never would claim to know everything.
Well, neither would I. So, as two humble beginners, and one very annoying human, let's get started.
Wow. Wow, just like that. I'm very glad I came here. Woo!
So she's going to escort you out, and as she is doing so, she's going to ask you a series of questions.
Okay.
So she's going to say, to our left is the lava flows. To our right, the springs. Where would you get better steel?
The lava flows?
She stomps her foot and shakes her head. Nothing.
I don't know if this is something Troy doesn't know that a smith would know.
Now, if we're going to make steel, we need 3 things. What are they?
Well, we need ore.
What type? Many ores there could be. Certainly not gold.
Can I do a check? I don't know anything about smithing personally.
That's okay. I don't expect you to. Sorry. Sorry, Trey. She's doing this. I'm not doing this.
Okay. Kreia answers accordingly. What
give
she
me a wisdom
knows.
check.
A wisdom check?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can it be with smithing tool proficiency?
No.
Okay. Wisdom check it is.
Okay. Because you're just recalling knowledge.
Okay.
So you'll say, well, first, or sorry, I'll just tell you. For steel, you need iron and you need a smoky heat. But she asked for 3 things, so I'm gonna leave that. To Roy.
Iron, a smoky heat, and the metal to shape it.
So she shakes her head again and she says, "No, no, 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 no."
God damn it, Obi-Wan! Tell me the answer.
Always heating, always smashing, never thinking about the most important part.
And that is?
What do you do when you're done? When you have the hot iron?
Oh,
What
well,
do
you
you do?
cool it in the water.
Yes, the most important step is the cooling.
I did need to watch more Forged in Fire. Brilliant show that is. Learned much from the masters.
So she'll, as she's walking around, she'll grab a few pieces of charcoal, a bucket full of ore, and she'll hand one of them to Kreia and one of them to Ronan. To Ronan, she hands the much, much, much heavier bucket of ore, with like a little smirk on her face.
Interesting.
As she does so, and she says, "Come on, here are 2 of the materials we'll need. Let's go find the 3rd."
I want to turn back to Ronan and be like, if you need help carrying that, let me know.
And
Trot up.
Ronan just has like a giant grin on his face, and it's like, no, everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I
got
just like
this.
effortlessly carrot my thing away.
Are you guys waiting on me in any capacity?
Nope.
Wait for a second.
No. Sorry, Nick.
Just your
You
quips.
just-
We're always waiting
Yeah.
for your quips.
Just
I
your
mean, of
quips.
course, I'm here.
Come on, I totally did a burn on Ronan. I totally did a burn on Ronan.
Oh, good one, Kreia. From the belly. Deep.
From the belly.
But like as delayed as I am now. Like I just tuned in and heard it. Like I was in my own world.
In present time,
Surprise,
as Basilio hears
surprise.
it, I just want to turn to Ronan and be like, sorry, that was not meant as a slight. It's just that I am much stronger than you. And you were given a
And
heavier
much
load.
funnier. Another round of drinks for my friend and I. I slapped the table at my own voice. It's not really like a joke, but yeah. Yeah, look, more drinks.
It is but fact. Like simple
Oh,
physics.
Roll 20 just crashed.
As it were. Oh, that's why you're not laughing. I understand now. Poor Ronan.
So
He'll come around.
neither the voice of God nor Ronan are laughing at this time.
Ronan is far too embarrassed at finally being cut down a peg.
Mm-hmm. Ronan's like, this isn't how I remember it. I remember her being excited to train me.
Forward,
It was
you
great.
mean. It was great. Well, history is written by the victors. And I'd say we both won that day. So, you have as much a right to tell it as I.
So, Fjorlin, as she gets into her grotto, she says, "Now, the most important thing when it comes to steel is cooling the whole item, not just the outside. If you cool just the outside, it's brittle and it snaps.
Aye. I definitely understand the premise of a strong weapon.
If you cool it too quickly and you make the whole thing cold, it turns chalky. Neither are acceptable for anything that you make. Now, what I have learned from my lengthy times in the 10 towns is that there is no purpose in making beautiful weapons."
No, it must serve function.
And Ronan's jaw drops. Now,
Wait, Ronan, I
If
thought
I
this was
make-
apparent.
a masterful weapon. What happens to it?
Wait, say that
Sell
if
it
you
to-
make a masterful weapon?
Yes, I make the most perfect weapon, the best balance that it could possibly be on a blade. What happens? I sell it to a lord. It sits in his cabinet.
I kind of scoff at the notion and be like, weapons are for warriors, not costume pieces.
Exactly. Then I might as well just be drawing a painting. What a beautiful scenery to be drawing.
Which there's nothing wrong with. Anybody can appreciate a painting, but that's not the purpose of a tool.
Then, if I were to make a weapon for these common humans,
Turn to Ronan.
what would they do with it? Last I saw, a group of mercenaries ran into battle. All of them outfitted with weapons.
You don't mean the
Mhm.
Lavender League, do you?
Certainly, they all had weapons. The very purple pompous people. They had the most pompous purple weapons.
Oh, they were fools. Tell me more of these fools.
Now, they all had these extravagant weapons with gilded hilts. And yet, what happened to them? They went into battle with their beautiful weapons, never came back. I highly doubt anyone picked up those weapons, just sitting out to rest. Now, what I have
I'm gonna
noticed...
take
from my
special
time-
note. She doesn't know what that battle was. Doesn't know it was me.
Yeah, no idea. What I have noticed from my time in the 10 towns is that other items, those get used. That is where all of our effort should go into. Is in making the greatest possible things we can make with steel that are not just going to sit on display, that are not just going to be frivolously used and then died about.
You are
Now.
preaching to the choir, in Forlin. I'm a traveler, you see, and nothing I hold has no function, shall we say. You must be efficient. You carry
Exact-
only what is useful.
And you have completely reminded me of the most efficient thing. Is
Oh?
going back to the basics. I should return to making the first thing that I made. Horseshoes.
Oh, God. Okay.
You're gonna be able to run so
I am.
fast.
Now,
This has me nervous now. This is like a surgical implant.
Freya, have you not been wearing shoes this whole time?
No, I have not. I'm au naturel, as it will.
I look down and I see your chafed hooves, and I see chafed hooves of many a horse, but I see even the most basic farmer puts shoes on their horses, keeps their feet going, allows their horses to do things like climb all over these rocks. They must be painful. But, so we should learn from there.
It occurs to me that I've like, do centaurs have horseshoes? Like, I feel like I just discovered that the Matrix isn't real life.
If your question the question is, are you wearing horseshoes at this point in time in the past? The answer is no. If the question is, do you look down at your feet in the tavern and see horseshoes? The answer is, we'll be getting there. Or you tell me.
Okay, yeah. Weapons and armor. It's brilliant. But we won't be speaking of saddles here.
Oh god.
No, would we ever be speaking of saddles?
Just, I will have no more correlations between me and a common farm animal.
But so she looks at you with a little bit of a blush, and she's like, "I wasn't talking just about you. I think that we should make the greatest horseshoes that have ever been made."
So you're gonna say Ronan is also wearing horseshoes?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Sure, where it sounded like it was going.
He was the guinea pig. I'm much too important.
I I
Okay,
picture
you-
Ren just like leaning around the table looking at Ronan's
Eh?
feet. Like, sighing
Ronan,
in
like,
relief, like, oh,
hiding
good.
them.
So you look at Ronan's feet and you see regular leather shoes.
Oh. Let's
But when
see.
you look at his belt, you notice that it is clasped using 2 horseshoes, one on either side.
And never will he be pantsed again. After this moment, Kreia pantses him.
Roll a sleight of hand.
Oh god, I did not. I was not serious. But yes, of course, I roll a sleight of hand. I miss.
guy is
You
cast.
successfully get past his acrobatics check. And roll a-
Sorry, Ronan. I don't know what came over me. I feel so
be
awkward
done.
talking about horseshoes and farm horses, and you understand.
Ronan just kind of just shakes his head and shrugs and says, "I understand."
I certainly do not, but brava. Brava.
So the
First time I've
mightiest.
seen a pantsing in D&D.
So well done.
It was inevitable. Sorry, the mightiest horseshoes the world has ever seen. Like, I must say that's not what I had in mind, but I'm very intrigued.
I can't say I've ever seen you so flustered in telling a story. These horseshoes, they must be magnificent things for a warrior such as yourself.
Well.
So Fjorlin is going to walk you through the process. So she's going to pick up a lump of iron from Ronan's bucket. She's going to cast a spell on her hands with an incantation, and she's going to look at you and say, "Yep." She's going to look at you and say, "You always need to protect your hands, or use hammers and tongs, but those are for amateurs." So she's going to cast a spell on her hand, pick up the iron and pick up the coal. She's going to throw the coal into the fire, let the fire get full and billowy. Once it's a very billowy fire, she'll stick the lump of iron in, let it slowly melt, and she'll look at you and she'll say, "Now, 2 things are happening. First, we're melting the iron so we can shape it however we like. And second, we're adding smoke. Steel is only as strong as the smoke that you add into it. Now, steel is a strange dichotomy of a material. First you add smoke, and then you need to quench it as quickly as you can. No, you need to quench it consistently, not too fast, not too slow. These are hot springs." So she makes a motion behind her, and she says, "These hot springs make sure that the outside never gets too cold to be brittle, but that the inside still cools quickly enough."
Unless you want to make martensite, and then you just like douse it in cold water right away.
Mm-hmm.
But
Martensite.
Martensite. I mean, if you want to make austenite, then you let it like cool at like a really slow rate. All right, moving on.
I'm sorry, Farlin. My mind's a bit scattered right now. Just the concept of hammering iron into my flesh. Like, I need to know this is going to be worth it. You must understand. This is
She
like
looks at you and she says, "We're not going to do that until we've made the horseshoes."
Aye, so we'll know the
Who said-
craftsmanship, the
Who said
enchantments.
these were for you?
Oh, I might be getting ahead of myself. So you're just inspired by my resemblance to a horse.
No, just by your hooves.
Okay.
I had come back. I had
Okay.
gone to 10 towns, both because of the punishment, but also looking for inspiration. So she'll take her lump of iron. You watch as she smashes it against the rock with her hammer into the correct shape. So first she lengthens, and she'll say, "First, you make it the right length. Then she takes both of her hands and she curves it in. You make it the right shape.
Right.
And then she'll just use her hands to shape the metal, the molten metal, and you'll watch as she just puts the little curl up at the divot at the end, and then she'll look at you and she'll say, "Don't think about what this part is for."
Of course.
And then she takes the horseshoe with her, and she walks into the hot springs until she herself is submerged up to the neck, still holding the horseshoe over her head. And then she looks and she says, "Now, at a very controlled pace." So she brings it down. You watch the water bubble beneath. Then she lifts it back up. Then brings it back down. Then lifts it back up.
Yes.
Out of the pool, she then walks with a glistening, beautiful piece of steel in the shape of a horseshoe. She then says, "And now, there's the final part, the most important part,
The final part.
the part that has to be done on steel that is almost cold enough, but not quite finished." And she takes a tiny piece of chalk and she inscribes a rune.
Okay, this is interesting. Because everything up to this point, I feel like I already know. Because I'm proficient in Smith's tools.
So you would have known to put iron into a fire. You wouldn't have known that the smoke was important. You just would have always made a wood fire, as was the way that smithing was done back in the day.
Okay, so there are new techniques. I don't know enough to know the difference right now.
That's okay.
And the rune
you
thing
would
is
not have
funny.
quenched it slowly. You would have just stuck it in the bucket.
Okay, got it. So there's some things at play here that are different, that will only improve my ability to smith. And runes, it's like, oh, I haven't inscribed giant runes on my weapons and armor, but this seems different.
So as she writes with chalk, you watch as the chalk gets absorbed into the steel and then is completely disappears as it finishes cooling.
What just happened?
She hands it to you and she says, "Now, there are multiple things that you can inscribe into something like a horseshoe. For this one, I was thinking of practicality, so it is longevity. This horseshoe should not break after being used for the lives of 100 horses."
I dare
she
say
then
that
said-
would be great for a skeletal warhorse. 100 seems excessive. Sorry, I digress. Continue.
I don't want to make you have to think about it, but horseshoes can be reused.
Oh, God. My stomach turns.
So she'll hand this over to Ronan, and she'll say, "Now, did you see this? What the rune was for longevity?" And Ronan just nods. "Yes, I saw. Yes, I saw. Yes, I saw." And you'll see on the horseshoes that you pantsed Ronan is a rough rune for longevity, but it didn't absorb into the shoe itself the same way, and it's kind of like looks like a toddler.
What does longevity in a belt mean, Ronan?
Well,
Was
these
that
were
really the
my
best
mistakes? Remember? Oh, look, it's hard to learn runes in one day.
Well, just because what?
You know what happened.
I would so love to hear it from your point of view again.
You got it right the first time with a different rune.
Experience, my friend.
Stupid giants. So, she will look at you. She looks at Ronan. Try. So Ronan tries. He does everything roughly the same. His rune isn't nearly as good, and he rushes the quenching. So he just dunks it in as deep as he can, and he holds it there. And she says, "Well, the horse won't mind."
The horse won't mind.
But
You
I
mean
don't
the
think
common
its master would be as pleased with this. piece of work. We're going to have to keep trying, Ronan. She says, Kreia, would you like to try?
I would.
What do you do?
I put it in for just as long as Forlin did, and remove it at the appropriate time.
So before you do that, she casts a spell on your hands so that you can grab the molten iron.
Right. Yes, that first.
So you have the molten iron in your hand. She shows you the right curvature. She shows you the little spikes that you need to make at the back end of the horseshoes. And then you said you held it in how?
Held it in how?
So what do you do now?
What? I waded
So you
into
did
the
this-
water.
Yeah, you wade into the water. You do that part entirely perfectly.
Yay.
And drowns because horses can't swim.
Horses can swim brilliantly. And centaurs even better.
So then she hands you her chalk, and she says you could inscribe this with any rune.
Any room.
And you know a few runes.
I know giant runes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So what rune would you like to inscribe it with?
I specifically know the 2 giant runes granted by my class right now.
Mm-hmm. You know more runes than that if you would like to. But
I would love to.
what rune would you like to inscribe?
This is a kid in a candy store.
Kid in the candy store's got 30 seconds to decide.
The candy store is too fast.
So as you're thinking, she says you have to do it quickly, but also remember a single word. If you try to write a full phrase, the steel will forget.
Right. Wow. Probably one of the ones that I don't commonly use on my weapons, then.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps... No. Not sky. What would be an ideal horseshoe rune? Perhaps... Sorry?
In my mind, the 2 that would be interesting, one would be speed, and another would be stability.
Oh, these are not giant runes, you mean?
Oh, do you have a list of giant runes? Oh my god, pick one of those. I didn't realize that was a thing you had.
I do, yeah. Like, that's like a part of my class. I can inscribe weapons and armor with these giant runes, and they have a list of effects that they grant. Which is how I did my abilities last
I was just trying to get
time.
you to pick a word.
Oh, any word. Oh,
But
goodness gracious.
No, I like this way better. You have you're gonna it's gonna cut away, and everyone's gonna be like, "Which rune did you pick?" And then you're just gonna look shyly at them and be like, "You'll see when we get into combat." I didn't realize you're picking up. I like this way better. Yes, if you did end up putting these into your feet, you do get a full another class feature.
Holy shit. All right, we'll
But this
we'll
is a good
straighten that
cutaway
out
point.
later then. Yeah. Oh.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, you'll find out soon, right? Wouldn't want to spoil the surprise.
So Ronan will say, "What? Yeah, wasn't that amazing that she did it on her first try and she put a rune that even the great master couldn't read?"
Yes. To say, like, you all spoke downly of giant culture, but I think there's something to be gleaned of all cultures.
What a amazing first try. And then I tried for the rest of the bucket after she made her 4 shoes, and eventually I got it.
So are you wearing horseshoes? What did you put it on?
still gonna sell it.
Oh. Oh,
Could you
but if-
imagine how much a mercenary would sell or would pay to give his horse shoes of speed?
So it was always about the money for you, Ronan.
Well, of course, this is why I'm a master smith.
Not because of the passion. See, this is
Well,
why
I-
the dwarves turned you away. We're so
I-
low.
I think they turned me away because Fjorlin was so indisposed.
Well, we write our
I-
own history, after all.
He's just gonna grumble. Grumble.
Nothing against you, Ronan. Just that
Dick.
I had other insights.
Well,
I'm still thankful for the weapon you crafted for me.
speaking of profit, I could always get you other weapons.
Well, I might not be the best customer since I may be the better smith.
Just better at making horseshoes.
I
I picked up so many techniques for making perfectly balanced weapons
Well,
from every human kingdom, and even now these runes from the Great Master. I know 2 runes.
No, I'm not against the idea. So that we understand one another. I just mean to make idle banter and to say that I'm not your usual mark, as it were.
I guess that's fair. What about you, the Great Basilio? Certainly you need a slightly better rapier.
Or perhaps not.
Perhaps
Like
not.
a really long weapon.
No, just a much more balanced one. Oh,
Mm.
oh.
Well, what are your
Ah.
prices looking like these days, Ronan? Among such distinguished adventurers such as ourselves? Oh. Yes, too rich for my blood. Perhaps we speak again after we rescue a kingdom or two.
After we ransom a king.
It's not that much money. I've been like really
No,
bad
it's
for
not.
giving you this gold. Been really bad about it. Because the idea to me of giving you like I think I still have World of Warcraft gold in my head. Like
No,
I
no, you're
offered-
right. We
I offered
shouldn't get
Alfonso
100 gold.
200 gold.
Like, we've been saving farmers. They don't have that much gold to give us.
I know, but I really think that the dwarven cleric should have offered Alfonso more than 200 gold. I think this was a very low amount of gold for what he's requesting.
It may have been 200 gold and sexual favors. I hear that bearded princess is just brilliant.
Yeah, 200 gold is it's not very much for 3rd level, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, you'll get gold eventually. I might do that at some point in time, but maybe you will never have gold. Who knows?
I'm not concerned.
It's not. Yeah,
The
it's not like-
journey. The journey.
So the next question that I have is would Alfonso pick up where he was, or would Ren or Dr. Ottoman pipe up?
I imagine Rem would probably pipe up.
Yeah.
The man is
Not
very
enough about
brickless.
the little guy. In a rough place. Losing my
Yeah.
brick.
No, I spoke of my hardship after that endeavor, but you went through much worse, I think. Saving my life like that, I'm ever thankful. But I can only imagine what you've gone through, having to give up the concept you protected so dearly.
Dead though. Neither are you.
Aye, and I have you to thank for that.
I'll end up dead anyway.
Someday.
So,
Or undead.
God, never that.
the two of you seeing Fonzo, Kreia, and Vasilio all head off. Start discussing the dog whistles that you were given by Maghar.
As
We
in
do with
the,
these
the
whistles.
weapons.
This is my own fault. So what he said was,
Two A's in his name. 2 A's.
yep, to follow your spirit journey, become one of our clan. You must put the whistle in your mouth. Take a deep breath in with the whistle in your mouth, then blow out. The sound will carry across the wind and capture the hearts and ears of any nearby direwolves. At that point in time, you need to go out and seek them. And only then, after you have found them, wrestled them to the ground, looked them in the eyes, and told them that you are their companion, better, and friend, will they join.
Companion what and friend?
Better.
What is a better?
Like you're better than their master, I guess. is
Oh.
probably better for that.
Oh,
Ren.
okay.
Ren, I must say, this sounds like my tribe's mating rituals, and I don't like it one bit.
So he told you to go out to a specific forest. So do the two of you go out to the forest?
Hey, Sean, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, Sean there.
Yeah. We're trying
Okay.
to hunt down a wolf.
You are. You were told that you could have a wolf companion if you
Alright.
did these things.
I guess we're going to the forest.
So then do you do as he told you to do with the whistles?
Sounds a little creepy, but we're doing it for the wolves.
I dare say that wolf needs a dentist.
As long as I was rested before this, you know.
Yeah, you both well rested.
Okay, good.
So he told you to go to a specific spot in forest. So that you guys could be well rested, you would have then made a campfire there. Just like hung around, shot the shit for 8 hours. Whatever the heck D&D characters do for long rests.
That's a long shooting of the shit. What do we do, Ren? We
So
play hide and seek.
That there.
the sun is
Right
setting.
the whole time.
The sun is setting as you put the whistles into your mouths. You both suck in, and instead of just getting air, your lungs are filled with a savory tasting smoke.
I like this whistle.
Roll a Constitution save.
Can someone roll it for me?
Oh, right. What's your con? You might have a sheet somewhere. I will roll the d20. You failed. Sorry.
You're high as fuck.
You rolled a 3, and plus con is less than
3.
good.
It's 3.
So both of your lungs are filled with the smoke. Dr. Ottoman begins violently coughing. Both of your vision begins to blur, and the sun setting, instead of just looking like a slight haze, begins to completely haze out your vision. At this
Wow, it's
point
been
in
a long time
time,
since I've blown a whistle.
there were things inside of the whistle. that you
Every man remembers his first whistle.
So what would you like to do?
Being all
I guess
hazy?
As the world spins around you. Is there anything you'd like to try to do, I should say?
I'm gonna lay down and look up at the stars and talk to Ren about the meaning of life.
Hey, you see a a very large dragon staring down at you.
You're
Alright.
dead.
I'm gonna say to Ren, Ren, do you think that's a real Bahamut? Or is it just a not real Bahamut?
You guys are all on this page, right?
Yo, yeah,
Okay.
it's beautiful, and I love the tone of his voice. I love Sake, and I love Sean.
So as you ask Ren that question, you don't get an answer.
Ren? Ren? I look around.
Wandered off.
You don't see
Ren.
Ren, nor do you see the campfire.
Whoa.
So is stuff
That's unusual.
not spinning anymore then?
The world is still spinning around Dr. Ottoman, but he sees a very concerned dragon looking at him, along with a very excited wolf.
Is my disciple drunk again?
What is this guy smoking this time?
How dare you partake in the way of the heathen orcs?
Oh god, it's Bahamut.
What are
He's
you
talking to
going
me.
to do next? Raise the dead?
Oh shit!
Join Tiamat?
No, Bahamut, I would never do that. I'm very devoted.
And then
Look,
the
I'll do push-ups right now. Can I do a bunch of push-ups?
can athletics check for him?
Sorry?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Can someone roll an athletics check for Dr. Otto?
Oh, what's your
Yeah, 1
strength?
second.
Oh, you got it, Clayton.
Pretty low.
You probably have his
Oh my
sheet.
god, for real, Matt. Don't mess up.
Yo, hey!
He's gonna be angry if you don't do this.
You better succeed in these push-ups, or you're gonna be in detention.
Oh man. I'm like sweating as I do it.
For you, Bahamut!
Oh, it's actually +5. You're proficient in athletics.
So the dragon looks down at you and says, I want naught of your flesh, puny mortal. I require absolution of your mind. What? Do you not follow the path of... What was that paladin path that you ended up choosing?
Devotion, right?
Devotion, yeah.
Do you not follow the path of devotion? You might as well follow the path of orcish vengeance, or worse, be fallen if you were to do things such as this.
Oh my god, this is a really bad trip.
And then you see a spirit wolf walk up and try to nuzzle with you. What do you do?
I try to blow the whistle again.
Another hit, please.
As you blow the whistle, you see the dragon in the stars getting smaller and more distant, saying, "Do you choose it over me?"
Oh.
Oh shit.
No, Bahamut. I am very devoted to you. I just like this wolf as a friend.
You cannot be devoted to two gods. You must choose.
I look at the wolf because I'm not sure that it's a god.
Sorry, Wolf. Never played you before.
The spectral wolf has the face of a human.
Oh shit, this is some Princess
Just noticed
Mononoke
that,
shit.
That's freaky. Yeah. Holy crap! Has that been here the whole time?
Here's Ottoman doing push-ups, just waiting for a god to lay beneath him.
Oh man. That's the face of a human. I don't know. Ren, where are you, Ren?
So the face of the wolf changes to the face of Ren.
Oh!
It says,
Oh man.
I could be Ren. I could be anything you like. I'm a good boy.
Oh my goodness. I just start sweating profusely.
Just got way sick here.
I guess I have to choose Bahamut, because that's my devotion. But I
So-
love you, Wolf.
I will never forget you.
Don't eat my soul.
So the wolf,
I'm way too high.
the wolf looks spurned, saying, "How could you love me when you send me away? Send me away for a dragon."
You say that as though it's just any dragon. This is Bahamut we're talking about.
So the astral dragon that you see in the sky becomes larger again, and says, "Good. My servants remain true to me. I will bestow upon you the power of Bahamut, the power to withstand all of these heathen temptations, these awful temptations that try to come into your lungs. No, lungs are for fire, O servant of Bahamut."
For I am the god of the north winds.
But maybe just one more whistle.
So as you try to whistle again, you instead exhale a fiery breath,
Destroy the whistle.
completely destroying the whistle.
Oh.
I chose the right god.
Plot twist. You're not doing that anymore. Ha!
Can someone roll
Oh, man.
a 1d sorry, 3 1d6s?
Yeah!
Okay. So Dr. Ottoman was unconscious for 13 days.
Oh my god!
Damn.
Woo!
This is why he showed up late.
That's a, you're looking a bit thin there, Ottoman. Get this man some dinner.
Or
Let me regale you with my tail. I slayed 300 orcs.
The number grows every sip of this ale.
Quite so. Quite so.
300 orcs, you said.
Yes. And near a score of giants.
I must say, something about your presentation belies more confidence than Ronan's story. I will believe it.
Tis the art of the presentation, my friend.
and Ronan just shrugged and says, "Sounds like he just got high, guys."
What did Ronan say?
That sounds like he just got high. Have you never partaken in the leaf? Sounds like he partook in too many leaves.
And then saved the day most magnificently. Kind of just bow and shrug.
No.
I know not what to say.
Not you,
You-
Nick.
Dr. Ottoman is
Dr. Ottoman.
a lightweight.
I never touch the leaves myself. I'm more of a
I was
whistle
talking
man.
about my orcish story. Oh, wait, sorry.
Clayton and Ashton, who would like to go next?
I can keep going.
Yeah, Ashton can go on his wolf quest.
Okay. So, as you lose track of Dr. Ottoman, you see towards the sunset a spectral wolf. What do you do?
I also transform into a wolf. Who's gasping? Jesus.
Okay. So, As you
Do you know
try
anyone
to
other than Tori who
transform,
guessed?
as you are transforming into a wolf, you look at your paws, and you notice that instead of chasing the spectral wolf, you have become the spectral wolf.
You have Sean's face. Dun dun dun.
Whoa.
No. Am I standing in front of Sean now? Well,
You are
he's on the.
not. No. You continue. You continue following the path that the spectral wolf was taking you, all the way towards the sunset. You keep following until you get to where a place that feels familiar to you, very familiar to you,
Oh shit! I just
a
looked at the
little
map.
bit
Tower.
too familiar to you.
Okay, there I am. Yeah.
You know these ruins.
Right, I do.
You were tasked with guarding them.
I was tasked with guarding the brick.
You were tasked with guarding the ruins.
Before the brick.
You fled the ruins, and all that you could grab was a single brick.
Grab another brick.
Steal the original brick back.
Oh shit!
How do
There
I
seems
say
to be a
controlled
lot.
by- Sorry, controlled by Ashton. Safe. Okay, there you go. You're down here.
Okay.
So you see something is wrong. There's so many zombies, but ghosts shouldn't be that large. The whole world feels distorted, warped around you. You see a fog in all directions. It's thicker somewhere, in some directions than others, and you feel that the only way that you can go is towards the ruins. Every other direction is just fog. What do you do?
Okay. These are like cliffs here, right?
Yep.
Do the zombies seem like they're gonna attack me? Like, do they notice me?
They don't notice you. You walk right through them.
Oh, shit. Well, we'll follow the path.
As you follow the path, the specters of ghosts seem to glance your way, but otherwise seem completely uninterested. More and more zombies continue piling out from the ruins, and more ghosts seem to be directing them forwards. Always forwards.
Towards the tower, or forwards like away
Forwards,
from the
away
tower?
from the tower.
Okay.
With a single word, rebuild. Rebuild. What did you do?
I continue up towards the tower.
So as you continue, you pass scores and scores of zombies. You lose count after the first few hundred. But you finally get back to the old spot that you recognized. You used to cook fires. You used to put cooking fires here. You still see the scar marks in the ground. You used to cook all sorts of nuts and berries while you were guarding these ruins. And then you see them. And they see you. You watch as the impossibly large lich turns to face you. And
Is what? Sorry?
as the impossibly large lich turns to face you.
Okay.
And as the head on top of the knight that chased you swivels, separates itself and walks forward and floats forwards.
Oh, so cool.
Okay.
There you do.
Oh god.
What would Ren do?
Ren stands his ground by going up this way. Just
Okay.
keeping an eye.
So, even though the Lich has turned to face you, he still continues his conversation with the knight. He says, all of this struggle just to get back the cornerstone. But it was worth it, Master. We got you the cornerstone. We can rebuild. Oh, we can rebuild. Didn't we make this indestructible, though? Well, Master, we made all of the bricks and all of the furniture, and every single object inside of your tower indestructible, just as you requested, Master. But you didn't include the mortar, Master, in your incantation. Oh, well.
Lich sounds like he has a hangover.
We do have time. We still have more time before these wounds fester. Speaking of festering, did you deal with the druids, the circle of druids? Yes, Master, I slayed every one of them.
no.
So what do you do, Ashton?
Can I speak?
You can't. You can try. Or sorry, yes, you can.
I'd speak up and say you killed my brethren.
So now they'll both look to you and say, huh, this one wasn't even worth our effort. Look at the tiny gnome. They just left him here. What did they think he was going to do? And he stole a brick. Oh, what a fool.
We'll be the one that stops you.
Do you think it's worth killing him? Well, I certainly don't see the point in letting him stay here and listen to us. Fine. Deal with him. So the knight's body remains completely still, but the skull continues to chase towards you.
I attempt to grab a brick.
Your paws fade straight through the bricks.
Well, shit.
You seem completely unable to interact with the material world. And the skull has caught up to you. It opens its mouth and breathes an unholy plague upon you.
Well, shit.
The Spectral Wolf has 11 AC.
Oh no.
So, you wake up feeling a psychic damage dealt to yourself.
Okay.
66. Sorry.
Whoa!
Sorry, wrong number.
Well, that's every hour in the day.
So, you feel a psychic damage of 23 dealt to yourself.
That just mean I'm dead?
No, you're not dead. Just
This
I-
is the ghost of Ren drinking beers in the tavern with us.
How much health do you have, Ren? Because no, half of that. Oh my god, what are you doing, David? It has 1 health. He takes half of the amount of damage over 1 when he wakes up. Sorry,
Okay.
you may not. I've written these.
Okay, I
notes.
was gonna say because I only have 22 health.
You take 12 damage when you wake up.
Okay.
Can you imagine just getting destroyed in a friggin' spirit walk so badly you die outright?
And whenever you focus, you may use one of your wild shape charge to transform into a spectral direwolf.
Oh, cool.
The spectral
What?
form lives in the spirit plane. You cannot interact with any item, but they cannot see you unless they are using a magical vision type of vision, or if they themselves are spirits.
Okay. Cool. So I can't attack or anything with it.
No, you can't.
Cool.
You leave your physical body behind.
Oh, I don't transform completely into it?
No, so you leave your unconscious body behind.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. As a bonus action, you can choose to come back to the real world and do attacks similar to how a ghost works. And then as a full action, you can choose to transition out of the world into the spirit world. Your spirit ghost has 1 hit point when it's in the real world.
Okay.
And otherwise, it behaves as a direwolf stat block.
Okay. Cool. So I can like phase in with my 1 health.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay.
And as you reach new levels of wild shape, this will upgrade itself.
Cool. Nice.
Wow.
So hit points 1. Okay. Yeah, you can see the direwolf stat block, right?
Yeah, I think it's still in there.
Okay, good.
No, sorry, I only have the bio and info. I can't look at anything else.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
In players, can be edited and controlled by Ashton. Save changes.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
There you go. So that is your spectral direwolf.
Well,
So
the doctor
have-
still.
we have
Passed
one
out over there?
story. The
That's friggin' hype, man. So you
Uh,
can turn
you-
into a spectral wolf?
You
Yeah.
tried to search to find the doctor, but you could not.
Damn it.
Passed out in the bushes.
So there will be no ghost wolf teabagging on this day.
I was gonna say I scared the shit out of him.
You kind of already did.
I come up half transformed.
Hello.
Actually, roll a
Wolf with the
survival,
Ren pace. Survival?
if you wanted to track Dr. Ottoman.
Yes. Is this
Mhm.
where is this?
You do have a good 5 days of which to do it.
Haha. We're gonna get this teabag.
So,
happening?
if you would like to have him wake up to see your spectral wolf, you can do that.
Well, I'd like to be the spectral wolf with the Ren head.
Okay.
And wake
you
him
got
up
it.
like that.
You got it. What do you do when you wake up, seeing a spectral wolf with the red head right in front of you?
Ren? I try to touch his face.
Your hand passes right through his face.
Oh no. It'll pass right through his pants too.
Um, I guess I took a little bit too much whistle, and I just go back to sleep.
Okay. That's perfectly reasonable.
Oh.
No. I head back to the bar. Or to the bar.
You leave him there. Oh
For
no.
the first time.
Well, he's gone for 13 days, so
You don't know that.
I just leave him there.
Oh, he'll be fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
and this
I
is
guess
why
he
he
should
was
take a nap.
last.
Yeah.
I looked comfortable.
Oh,
And he
because
just didn't mention it to anyone.
So,
Oh hey Ran, good to...
yeah, what do you do now you've heard this revelation that he was over you as the red-faced wolf, and that he just totally left you in the forest?
I mean, I would have done the same thing. Right down to the ren-faced wolf.
Oh shit. It's just the best.
It is kind of weird that it didn't come up because he was back at the bar like 8 days before me.
He's feeling guilty about it.
I mean,
It's like, where's Dr. Ottoman? I don't know.
Certainly
Should've
doesn't
been
have
here.
a
Who is that?
dick in his mouth.
Definitely didn't draw anything on his face.
Wherever he is.
Totally. Like,
oh. Ooh.
no? Yeah? Can you hear me?
Yep.
So,
Perfectly.
Yep.
So Ronan is going to look around and be like, "Oh, okay, yeah. Everyone that matters has told their stories. Okay, good. Sounds like a good evening of storytelling, guys."
Ronan, that's not very nice.
Everyone that matters, huh?
Yeah, we heard your story. I'm assuming you just like figured it out or something magic like that, and we're good, right, guys?
I'm really curious to hear about that adventure. I'm really trying to think highly of you, Ronan.
Didn't you guys travel together?
Yeah, he told me.
He hasn't
all
told
about it.
you yet.
So I've heard everyone's story that I need to hear.
Did you leave him asleep in the cave?
Well, then you may leave this table then, and we will continue amongst ourselves.
Oh, fine. Ooh. And then he looks over to see. He looks over to see. Oop, this is totally the wrong map. Just pretend I didn't have to click there as an in-between map.
I'm sorry, Alfonso. I used to think Ronan was cool, but he is not very nice.
So he's
I
gonna
have
say,
learned.
"Ooh, I think I might see a patron."
Wow. He smelt some gold. Is that Lavender League he's talking to?
It is.
Did they see us yet? Do we need to... Ren, where are you, Ren? Do you see that over there?
There's this man.
It's Lavender League, and they don't have numerical advantage this time. Just saying, Zol.
I would like to walk over
Mm-hmm.
and yank the legs off this man's chair.
Wait, which man's chair?
The Lavender League guy.
I thought you were gonna do someone else's. Just yank the legs off of his chair.
The back legs.
Some random dude. Just
Oh,
put his chair
you know the
underneath
gif
him.
you're thinking of.
Roll athletics, please.
Math.
Okay. So you manage to pull the chair out from under him, but he keeps his balance.
What?
Man's got some thighs of steel.
So as you're pulling the chair from under him, he feels the chair beginning to get lifted. He stands up on his 2 feet and he looks to address you.
I was saying I was gonna like break the legs on the bottom of the chair because I'm short.
It kicks him
I
out.
just like kick him in. Just the legs. Break him off.
You do not have the strength to do that.
I steal his chair.
Right, yeah, that's what I figured you did, because you get the strength to do that. So yes, you try to steal his chair, and then he stands up and turns to face you, and he says, "Excuse me, sir. I'm talking business. Are you a rival smith with goods to compare to those of Ronan's?"
Smith. No.
Well, yes, we're talking about having our little group here outfitted with new weapons. As you can see,
More
There-
Lavender League?
no, you only see the one fellow in the Lavender League outfit. As you can
Joining
see,
Lavender League?
myself and my two friends here would very much like to go and collect some bounties in the 1,000 Needles. Now, if you don't mind, we have a contract to seal and some weapons to buy. So please.
Ronan,
Yes.
we literally just spoke about this group. Do you remember what our dwarven friend
They
said?
do? With those
Uh,
weapons that you're selling them?
Do you remember?
I was gonna sell to them from the discount line and just get some gold from them and get on our way. I wasn't gonna give them a good weapon. I was gonna give them a weapon I'm perfectly fine with living in the snow for the rest of eternity.
You would waste your craft and deal with these folk after all that you've learned.
A guy's gotta make gold.
And that's why you'll never be a master. And I turn my back and leave.
So Ronan's gonna walk over to the other members of this group and be like, "Okay, well, he's dealing with this whole chair problem. I was gonna talk to you guys about long swords and breastplates."
While he's doing that, I'm just gonna kind of like shoot just like a tiny little bit of just a shot of magic at his way, like a tiniest little firebolt, just to kind of singe like beside his ear or something like that.
Y'all
Okay.
tell me
Just-
you have prestidigitation.
Roll an attack roll. Yeah, he said firebolt. Sure.
Okay, that's
Oh.
something else altogether.
Roll damage.
Excuse me. See, Basilio, I don't know if I realized this before, but there are
So
Lavender
you
League here.
you
I mean,
missed,
I
and you instead hit the side of this dartboard.
Cool.
Brilliant.
Hmm.
You know, our
I kind of follow like your words and then see Alfonso shoot the fire, and I'm like, and I like see it fly across the
Well,
room.
it's not like I'm shooting a fireball. Or,
No,
Like
just
a
a
tiny
little,
little-
little bolt.
Out
Yeah.
of fire or
yeah,
whatever.
it's not
missed.
enough to catch anything on fire. It's
Yet
just-
again.
Yeah.
It-
One damage. Peh.
if I were
Yeah.
to make a slight suggestion, you have this taverns here, and I know you intended to tell the tale of the Lavender League after we've seen them before, but wouldn't it be funny in front of our friend Ronan here to turn the tavern against them, as it will?
Interesting. What exactly do they do again? Because I, as a player,
They round up orc children, rip off their ears, and sell them.
Okay.
It wasn't just the children, was it? I thought it was.
Well, it was
We gotta go
everyone,
with the
but
Cross.
also the children.
But there was children involved.
Actually, they specifically
Running.
target children because they're too cowardly to fight their warriors.
Aye. Huh. But the orcs are not well loved amongst the townfolk.
No, but everybody loves children.
Children are.
Interesting. Yes, yes. I think we could spin quite a tale to
I
turn the
would-
bar against them.
I would not come to any bard with such a request as this, just that you are so eloquent and so loved that perhaps
I-
your words may reach them where others could not.
Your flattery, my lady, I bow deeply. I will attempt such a feat, if for no other reason than for your praises.
I hate be
I
well founded.
spin on my
believe
heel and like leap backwards onto this table,
Mhm.
addressing the bar. My fellow patrons, it's come to my attention that we have villains amongst us. Gather close. And I like,
Are you
Like
saying
a
this in the form of a
frightful
song?
yeah, I'm like, I got my violin out in a frightful jig. I don't know.
A frightful,
Jake.
frantic jig.
Frightful.
I love this.
Let's see what. I don't know.
Oh, you're looking for a song now.
Yeah, it's throwing me off my game here. I'll go back to my.
What's that like?
storytelling.
Running of the Bees.
Which one? That could work. Like,
It's pretty frantic of a jig if there ever were one. Yeah.
Exactly like that.
It's so beautiful. And to picture that on a violin.
And then it like abruptly stops. Like, man, I tell you now, my fellow patrons, the Lavender League has struck deadly and fatal blows against children. Children, I say. I'm like really trying to get them like riled up. I'll do a performance. See how enthusiastic they are, because that'll gauge what I do next. Where's my character sheet? Perform, dance monkey.
Okay.
How
19.
lucky you feeling?
Well, why did it? Wait, where's my roll? Oh, it's +6, so
Yep.
15. So I don't know how like into my words are they? How engrossed is the audience? This is where my battle tactics comes out. I'm a master of the audience.
The audience is very engrossed. Every single eye is upon you, including the eye of the Lavender League.
Good. I like look at them and look them right in the eyes, and then I smile, and then I turn back to the audience. My fellows, villains amongst us have struck against the children. These vile and treacherous individuals fear not for the consequences of their actions, and hence why they've done it. Be not afraid, for they are amongst you. It is them, the Lavender League, I point them out. These vile, treacherous individuals have struck the children orcs and brought their ears here for trade. Not only killing babies, but stealing your well-earned coin with their ears. Their ears that have done no harm to you and your people. I don't know what you...
Guy, it's just a uniform, guys.
I want to raise my mug and say, here!
I say, for all the good of the land, we apprehend these villains. Who's with me? Hear, hear!
Say we send him to Bremen.
I stamp my lance into the ground.
In arms? Are they riled up?
They are quite riled up. Can you roll a persuade?
Excellent.
Oh man, we got an angry mob on our hands.
Yeah! Do it, Basilio, do it!
Surely there's no way this could ever go wrong.
This is the end game, Alfonso. They started this, but we'll finish it.
So the mob of people swarm around them and say, "You're not welcome here, baby killers." Yeah, get out of here! You killed a bunch of babies. Yeah, get out of here, baby killers. Yeah, You're nowhere
Yes, my
near as
friend.
great as Vasilio. Vasilio would have killed the adult orcs. 150 of them. No, it was 300 when I heard it. Are you sure? I really thought it was 500 orcs and 100 giants.
Don't argue, my friends. It
All you
was
can hear from the
800
corner of the room is like moron.
And the largest sigh the table has ever heard.
So the whole group of them is pushed out of the tavern, and they just they're like, fine, we'll leave. And Ronan is pushed out along with them.
Well, Ronan,
you're
you brought it upon yourself.
I mean, I said apprehend them, but Vasilio is very happy with the outcome regardless. He said, "Yeah, throw them out." Ha ha ha. I've got a dagger out now. I've got my violin in my other hand, and I'm like, yeah, throw those vagabonds to the streets.
Yeah, get them out of here. We don't need no. What were they called? Leche League or something? Yeah, we don't need 'em.
Yeah, the Gavender League. Yes, I believe that's what they said. I'm like patting them people on the back and like spreading rumors now.
The Gavender League. Oh my god, man, the Lavatory League.
Oh yes. Might be too intellectual for our audience, but the Lavatory League.
The lavatory.
Lavatory.
I raise my cup and cheers with you. The laboratory.
I'm gonna cry, like super satisfied with myself, like dusting my hands off. Huh?
It's a lot of symbols for one word from Basilio.
Well done, Vasilio. Way to
Well,
use your
thank you,
influence
Alfonso.
for the greater good.
I bow to you all.
Not a
Sweep my
compliment.
hat wide.
So good. Anyways, Alfonso, you were saying before Ronan so rudely interrupted us.
And I saved the day. Coming around the corner.
And Vasilio saved the day, of course. No Alfonso story would be complete without Vasilio saving the day.
Literally
That is
every
true.
story
That is
would be
true.
complete without that.
You're all simply learning what I've always known. Do go on.
At this point, Cray is just stoked to poke the fire. It's so funny.
But do not let me interrupt. Do go on.
Literal like riots and like trumpets and air horns. You sit down, like, continue.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't even get up. I just tossed some fire at freaking Ronan. I didn't get up out of my chair.
And I saved the day. Yes. What happened?
So, would you like to tell your story?
Yeah, so getting together with this band of their so-called greatest warriors to go down and investigate the spooky, scary, fiery water.
You recognize one of them as the bannerman, and you recognize another as the guy that was previously very drunk, hanging out with what's it called? They got the ale for Kreia.
That was just the default state for all dwarves.
As you mentioned the ale, I just look wistfully into the distance. Brilliant ale that was.
So this double gate here is called a scene transition.
A scene transition? Did you just say that?
Yeah, that's what this is right here. For sure. So you open up the gate to the dwarven mines. As you are running through the mines, you encounter a 1d6. It was a 3, right?
Yep.
You encounter one tool. Where's the show?
What, sorry?
Why can't I show the players? Here you go. Show players. a Chul.
Chul.
Ooh.
Not cool, man.
Which before you can even get to it, the dwarves have already slain. As you go on, you then go on to encounter an entire set of basilisk. At which point the dwarves push you backwards, say, "Avert your gaze!" Each one of them puts a solid rock helmet over their heads. And they proceed to fight completely in the dark. Do you gaze up while they are fighting?
It's a trap.
No, I'll just kind of keep in a safe position, let them do their things. That's what they're there for. I'm not raising my hands if I don't have to.
Okay.
True, Alfonso. Beautiful. I love it.
When eventually they come to you and they say, "It is time," you see a few scratches. You see one of the rocky helmets been completely shattered, but dwarf with the shattered helmet, aside from the tons of scratches on his face, who is the very dwarf that made you the clay, that made Kreia the clay cup. Aside from the scratches on his face, he has a big smile and he says, "You thought I could get my head, but I ripped out its heart. Silly basilisk." So they will continue to bring you down through the cavern until they get to the point where they see water. At this point, they all look terrified. They keep their distance. They're hiding near the walls, and each one of them has a hand on stone.
Interesting.
What would you like to do?
All right. I'm gonna kind of walk up to the shore or the limit of the water.
Mhm.
I would like to. Is it going to be insight or arcana to look at it and study it?
Well, you can start off with insight if you'd like.
Okay. Whoops. That's not it.
So as you stare at the water, it looks surprisingly like regular cold water. Everything about it feels weird but normal. As you look up from the cold water, your gaze is met by that of a basilisk who seems trapped on an island.
Can you help
Interesting.
her? Sorry to interrupt. Go on.
You say I meet its gaze. Like, do I feel any different as a result of that?
I'm gonna get you to roll a Constitution save.
Oh no.
Did you ask?
We can't all have Kreia's constitution.
You got rid of. Got rid of the thing that I was gonna say here.
Sorry.
That's fine. You begin to turn to stone. You are restrained.
Very good.
That's what you wanted.
Always. Well, do I have any movement at all left while I'm turning to stone, or am I basically just rooted in place and turning to stone?
No, you are restrained. You need to repeat the save at the end of your next turn.
Nice. Do you want me to roll that now?
Yes, the basket is going to start clambering towards you. As it touches the water, it hisses. Just an awful hiss, and you can watch as bits of its flesh start to fall off. But the basilisk as a mindless beast just continues to charge forwards, gulping some of the water as it goes.
Genius.
So, give me that second Constitution save. And you successfully are able to free yourself.
All right.
Sheet on success, the effect ends. Yes.
But I can't do anything after that because that's at the end of my turn, right?
No, sorry, you have a full turn before that comes in. But you are restrained. Oh, yes, then you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't do anything. So the basilisk, with its mouth full of water, turns to face you and exhales.
Ooh, that's not good.
And I should have gotten these things ready. 3d6. Can you roll a dex save? You are restrained, so you automatically fail.
No, I'm not restrained anymore.
Oh, you're not restrained anymore. Can you roll a dex save? Thank you. You're right. So you are able to successfully dodge and take half of the damage as fire damage. You've never seen a basilisk breathe fire like a dragon before.
Wait, so it's breathing actual fire,
Holy
not
shit.
just spewing out the.
As it opened its mouth to spew out the water, it breathes fire.
Alrighty.
And fire that felt surprisingly draconic.
Huh.
What would you like to do?
Is there anything about the basilisk that looks different than what you would normally see?
Yeah, so the basilisk's eyes have turned from the normal. No, are you looking at its eyes?
I did look at its eyes when I first, so I
You're
would
right.
notice that, right?
Good point. Yeah, so you notice that as it entered the water, its eyes changed from a normal cold gaze of a basilisk to the bright, intense eyes of a dragon.
Nice, but other than that, though, it looks totally normal.
Yeah. Other than that, and the like very clear pieces of flesh that are falling off because it's swimming through this water, totally normal.
Nice.
Of course, yes, that's what I would say as well. Normal.
All right. So hypothetically, if I put it to sleep right now, would I be able to reach it without having to get into the water?
Yeah, you would be able to just barely reach in, but it might sink if it falls asleep. Hard to say.
I want it. All right. Well, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try it anyways. We'll see what happens. Hold on here. It's what 48, I believe. 58. I'm gonna try and cast sleep on it and then immediately grab at it.
So it does not fall asleep.
Holy shit. He's got a lot of health.
Damn. Dude, swole.
Due to swell.
You didn't tell me you fought a basilisk of this magnitude, Alfonso.
You know, not one to toot my own horn like a certain bard.
Well, granted.
So the basilisk is going to make an attempt to bite.
You never were one with instruments, were you?
Yeah, it bites me.
Real good.
Wow. Okay, it knocks me out.
Oh my god, that's your health.
No, that's more. Well, yeah, it's my health.
Okay. So as the basilisk with its mouth full of water bites you, you feel this water entering your veins. You feel a cold flush coming across all of you. And you feel the world beginning to fade away as you watch the dwarves finally get away from their stupor and fear. And one of them throw their javelin, one of them throw their mace, connecting with chunks of basilisk. They weren't able to put their stone helmets on, so you watch as one of them fades into the stone wall.
Wait, he becomes one with the wall?
No, he becomes a statue.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool, though. Just sucked into the wall.
Where
How
are
they
you?
make their mines? It's all just like dwarves. Dwarf
So
walls.
he becomes a statue. One of the dwarves sets his hands upon you and tells you to breathe.
I breathe.
Healing. is given.
I do so.
Feel like that's a good idea.
Can you roll a con save? Okay. So you feel a cold penetrating every part of you, but your own body's heat is able to fight it off. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna take a second to sit down and kind of reassess myself and see if anything feels different.
As you slow down, you notice the cold is beginning to overtake you. If you don't do something about it, you will pass out.
All right, I'm gonna make a quick jog around the room until I feel warm again.
No amount of exercise seems to be heating up the intense cold from inside of you.
Ironically, that's the first thing a wizard would think of.
If I use my firebolt and control flames to create a fire on something, would that help me warm up?
If you'd like to try it.
Well, I'll try it, and if I don't feel like it's warming me up, then that's just all there is to it.
Okay. So you set a fire to what?
I will set fire to some old clothes that were in my pack.
Okay. So as you get closer to it, and as you cast your firebolt, something's off about your firebolt.
Hit something with it?
Your firebolt isn't hot. It's cold.
Interesting.
And instead of making your body feel colder, it makes the cold feel natural and nice. Instead of feeling like the cold is sapping the energy out of you, you begin to feel like the cold is the energy inside of you.
Interesting. Okay. I'm going to kind of walk away from the guys, not too far, but just like up here type of thing.
Mhm.
I'm going to kind of cast a burning hands into a corner or something where I'm not going to hit them.
Okay. Rather than being the fire that you're used to slinging, you see a cloud of ice.
Interesting.
Whoa.
Okay.
Shit's inverted.
Roll damage.
Good to see my burning hands rolls are still going.
No. So all of your ones and your twos become threes and fours. So
Oh.
you did 12 damage.
Well, shit.
Oh my god. If Clayton gets a buff to one rolls like that, that will be
It's
exactly
game
what he
over.
requires. Like, oh my god.
Nice.
Sorry, that's what who requires?
Clayton, after all the ones he's rolled in this game for damage, like, can you imagine?
Yeah.
He'll be the chosen one.
Nice. Pat, the chosen one. I like it. Awesome. Okay. So I'm gonna like, how far away are we from the rest of the dwarven area? Like, if I took a short rest, would that make sense, or would it make more sense to go back to the city to
It
recuperate?
took you a 2-day trek with your guard to get down here.
Okay, so let's
Actually, that didn't
assume.
work out. Those are the two encounters were each a full day.
Okay, so let's assume that I took a rest, so I can use my hit dice to heal back up.
Okay.
Um,
So the dwarves look very concerned. And like, what's wrong with you, lad? Are you needing some more healing? You can always do that if you know.
no, I think I'm okay for right now. Just just feeling a little weird after getting bit by that basilisk.
Well, at least you're not stone.
No, for sure. But
I was wondering when we can get away from this water's edge. I do not feel comfortable.
get away from it. I still have to find out what's going on with it.
You haven't done that yet.
I don't know if you noticed, but there was a basilisk came up, bit me. You guys fought it. You remember that? Didn't happen all that long ago.
I thought when you were doing all this magic, what with the frost and the blue fire, that there had been purpose. I thought you were figuring it out.
Now I'm figuring out some changes. I need to go back and investigate a little closer. Just chill. No pun intended. Hang back by the wall if you need to, but we're not leaving yet.
All right, lads. Hands to stone, hands to stone.
I'm gonna come back over here by the water.
Mhm.
Keep a little better eye out to see if there's anything else poking around.
Nothing else is poking around.
Okay. As I draw closer to the water now, does anything feel different? Can I do an Arcana check or something like that to check it out?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
The water no longer feels cold to you.
Ooh.
Can I put my hand into it? Like, if I just barely touch the tip of my finger to it, does everything seem okay?
Yeah, it seems like regular water to you.
Really? If I slowly dip my hand in, everything's good.
Mhm.
Okay.
As you dip your hand in deep enough that you touch the part that the basilisk bit. Sorry, are you putting in the hand that the basilisk bit or the other hand? Should have been more specific.
No, the one the basilisk bit.
Okay. As you put your hand into the point where it touches the still slightly open wound, it feels good. It feels very good. You've never felt so refreshed.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna continue into the water.
Okay.
How deep am I?
Just up to your knees.
And is there any change in the way I feel?
None at all.
You
Okay,
feel
I'm
wet.
gonna slowly wade out.
Okay. You see a light in this direction.
Is there any sounds or anything that would cause me to be alarmed?
Not that you could hear.
Okay. I'm gonna. Am I still wading or am I actually swimming now?
You are now swimming.
Okay. I'm gonna slowly swim this way, just kind of keeping an eye out, just being attentive to my surroundings.
The basilisk was like definitely there, invisible, right? Like I didn't.
Yeah, it's there.
No, like it was there when you came in. It wasn't a surprise basilisk, right?
No, it was there.
Okay, sorry, just making sure.
All basilisk is surprise basilisk.
So you continue swimming and you see nothing.
Okay, I'm heading over to the light.
Okay. So in order to get to the light, it is quite far. You'll have to swim a few hundred feet and also get through a little cove. So I'm gonna need you to do a what's it called? Endurance? What's the one where you get tired? Oh my god, what's it called?
It's fatigue, exhaustion.
So can you do a con check? And you have to beat a 10, and if you fail, you get 1 level of exhaustion. Okay. So you super didn't fail. You come out over here into a little dry patch where you can see the water continuing on.
I'm not swimming now, right?
No, you walk back onto dry land.
Okay. Still no concerning noises or sights or anything.
Now that you have walked into this cave, you start to hear.
What? We lost you there, David.
He starts to hear chanting, draconic chanting.
Is it intelligible? Can I understand what they're saying?
You can. It is kobold voices saying, "All hail, Great One! All hail, Great One! Your time will come. Your time will come. Free the Great One from her icy prison. Sin Dragosa's time will come."
All right. Is this? Can I see anything through here without actually going there?
No, there are rocks in the way. But it looks like if you go a little ways, you should be able to see through.
Okay.
You can see what looks like the sparkle of a fire on the surface.
Okay. Assuming I can walk up here and still be fully covered, I can kind of peek my eyes out. I would like to do that. To see if I can see anything through there.
Yep. So you can see a few things through there. You are in the bottom left corner of this map. Not the top right corner that is totally not supposed to be.
My god, you're in the solar system.
How do I hide? I'm just revealing.
Well, do you mean top left or bottom?
No, bottom left, sorry. This is not a teleportation circle. There's no such thing that leads you here.
Right. I just don't see an Alfonso down there yet.
No, Alfonso is nowhere near there. Alfonso sees...
Oh, I misunderstood.
Alfonso can see off in the distance.
Okay, and is this like kind of level with me, or is it above me?
It's on the water level. You can see kobolds casting great balls of
fire.
To compensate for the great balls that they do not have as kobolds.
You can see the kobolds shaman are wading into the water, casting these great balls of icy fire. But that these great balls of icy fire are melting something. You can't see past the ridge.
Oh shit! All right. How many kobolds do you think I would see? Just these 3 here?
No, you see you have a pretty straight path at a large number of them.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. So knowing that, I'm gonna head back towards where the dwarves are.
Okay.
Damn. There's nothing else that's worth mentioning that I can see. And there's
not unless you want to keep going forwards. How close would you like to get?
Well, it kind of depends on, like, is there realistic cover that I could stay behind to still see further forward without getting seen easily?
Yeah, you can go right before the cave bends and see a little bit more.
Okay, I would like to do that.
Okay, roll a stealth. Okay. So you can clearly see out ahead a bunch of camps with kobolds, and you can see these kobolds making different food items, and you can see them just scurrying around. You see a lot of kobolds coming and going from the camps. So you see just like some coming in, some going out. At very least a few dozen.
Cool. All right. I should have done this earlier. I'm gonna do a quick little test, just kind of like at my feet. I want to see if I can use control flame to control this magical water just at my feet. I just want to see if I can like raise the water level a little bit just in my very immediate area.
Mm-hmm. You cannot.
I'll be right back.
No.
Uh,
Okay. That's fair. So the kobolds though are totally fine. Wait, so are they standing in like a little bit of this water, or is
They
that
are.
just they are? Okay, so they're fine in it. Okay, I'm gonna take this information and just head back towards the dwarves then.
Okay.
That's some spooky shit right there.
So you swim back to the dwarves, and what do you tell them?
I'm gonna ask them like, have you guys had kobold problems in the mines before?
Kobolds? Not that we've ever heard of.
Well, you've got a shitload of them in there, and they are melting something that is causing this water problem of yours. Now, if I had to take a guess, based on the fact that they're chanting in Draconic, and knowing some history in the area, they're probably thawing out something you really don't want thawed out back there.
What is it that we couldn't deal with?
Well, how confident do you feel in fighting a dragon?
We need another 7, maybe.
700,000 maybe?
Oh my god, Alfonso, no dwarf is this cocky. You must be joking. A dragon?
A dragon.
And they thought they could just take it.
I think it's not a real dragon. I think he must have just seen something else. Must have been some other monster in the Underdark. Can't have been a real dragon.
You guys are the ones who asked me to check it out.
Dragons in a better. Have you ever seen a dragon better? Not this deep.
They did call in the expert and to refute him. I feel for you, Alfonso. I really do.
So they think that they could probably fight whatever this big monster is. But they don't want to go past this water. So you're saying that it's some sort of a big monster defrosted that's making this?
That's correct.
Oof. Well, if someone wants to grab old Lucky here, how about the two of you? All right, sounds good. We can head back up if that's all right with you then. Maybe you should tell the head cleric, Bjorn. Bjorn might have a different idea about this. Oh,
That's the plan, yeah.
all right then, let's head back up. So the very Scottish dwarves and you.
The very Scottish dwarves.
Look, I think my Scottish wasn't awful.
Oh, it's great.
Nope, it's
There's just
definitely
only
heard
one of
worse.
them.
I liked it. It was good.
Your
So
Scottish
they-
is good, but you don't have 7 of them yet.
So they walk up to the to Bjornir, and they bring in the dwarven statue, and you watch as Bjornir casts a spell, returning him to flesh.
Whoa.
And he said, "That was so heavy, man. Do you know how heavy you were? I think you would have been lighter when you were stoned. Ugh, you gotta wash the ale." Yes. So they'll go about their way, and Bjornir waves you in. Says, "So, what did you find, wizard? Did you find the source of this water? Did you stop it? Are we safe to continue mining?"
Well, what you got here is a class 1 kobold infestation. And it's not good. They got some ritual going on down there. The water they've created, they didn't really create it. They're thawing out something real nasty down there, and I think you might have an idea of what it is.
Can't possibly mean Sindragosa.
It's certainly seeming like what it would be. The rituals are all in Draconic. It's the water itself. I came in contact with it, and it's, everything's pointing that way.
But the heroes of legend, I thought they defeated.
Defeated does not mean killed.
I've never heard of something defeated that's not killed.
Wise words.
But
Wait.
I guess you're right.
He seriously just say that?
The
They-
dwarven word for defeated is very heavily implies killed.
I was gonna say, like, do they ever have duels that are not to the death? Like,
No, I don't think so.
these are
No.
dwarves. Like, they have bar fights all the time.
Yeah, but you don't defeat someone in a bar fight.
Do you not?
No, that would not be the word that you would use for a dwarven bar fight.
Language
you
is
best.
interesting.
Or you slap shitless.
So you slap. There's a separate dwarven rune for slap shitless. It is very different than the rune for defeat. In fact, the rune defeat has a skull in it, and slap shitless, you can very
just a
clearly
couple, yeah.
see has no shit in it.
Oh,
Where's Vasilio when you need him?
good.
I'm here. Kind of.
Oh shit, there he is. The shitless wonder himself.
I missed something.
So Bjornir will
But I
say,
am
well,
Wonder. Yes.
even though you weren't able to solve the issue for us, at least we know what it is, and we can start getting our army ready. You said kobolds; they shouldn't be a real concern. Can you get our coffers? This man's earned his 200 gold. So he'll hand you the bag of 200 gold.
Excellent.
And he'll say, we'll start making preparations to have our warriors ready.
Well, when you guys are ready to deal with this problem, if the price is right, at least I am willing to come back and investigate this Sindragosa problem closely. Perhaps my party will as well, but I don't particularly care whether they choose to or not. I'll be here.
Would you like to rest? You've had a long couple of days, especially the pace that you made getting back up here in one day.
Yes, I think that sounds good.
Come, let me show you to our guest room. Now that we've gotten rid of Ronan.
Ha!
Hey, nobody likes that guy, eh? Huh.
Yeah,
he's
like
kinda
I was
dick.
a fan until today. He's just a fucking plug.
He was always a plug.
He was always a.
Didn't
I
ask
didn't
enough
notice
questions
before. He made me such a nice, adequate sword.
Yeah, he just appealed to Krea's good side, I guess.
Yeah, most people do until they're plugs.
So Bjornir is going to look at you and say, "Hey, would you like some of our ale before you head down for the night, or would you just like to rest?"
I would love some ale.
Uh,
After what I've been through, some ale is much deserved.
so your very Scottish friend is like, "Oh, hey there. Do you know what it's like to be stoned?"
Yes, actually. I did have that problem.
Oh, is that the leaf that you guys are talking about?
It's one thing to just start turning into stone, but when you're stoned for a full day, my goodness, all movement. I just tried, it was awful. Ugh. They say greater restoration, but I would have really liked, a full restoration maybe. Not so much greater about having been stoned for a day, but yeah. Have a tankard.
I would absolutely love.
Here you go. Is the perfect size for you.
I hope there's more than one of these.
Literally only brought to the intention because it was smaller than Krea's.
Go get it to resize it. More than one? Yeah, as many as you need. You successfully brought old Mugsy Beard. I don't know what the world you name him. Mug making dwarf. I don't know.
Mugsy.
Mugsy, man.
Old Mugsy. You successfully brought old Mugsy back. So, as many mugs as you need, he loves making them. Makes his day.
Love it.
Oh,
Mugsy. We're gonna get along just fine.
Muggsy and his cousin Sudsy.
Sudsy, the drinker of the mugs.
So what did you do for the rest of the evening?
Drank a few ales and passed the fuck out.
Oh, you didn't visit the princess?
No, I passed on that particular opportunity.
So, as you are sleeping, you see the face of the dragon that you saw while teleporting. She looks at you and she says a single word. Hello.
Do I have a chance to respond, or do I immediately wake up?
This hello was the thing that you said to her before she responded to you.
Yes.
If I remember correctly? No, you immediately wake up.
Damn.
It is a whole week of falling asleep and looking at her. So you have 8 words remaining.
Oh my god, this is like a character limit on sexting.
Cool. Can I?
Oh, you're friends with me.
That would blow the character limit wide open.
8 words. Okay. So I guess the first thing I would ask is I would probably say her name, Sindragosa, like asking it as a question.
Basilisk is typing.
After you ask, okay, look.
Basilisk cares not for your questions. Stone gaze.
Do you think that would work over like a fucking selfie?
Maybe. Just gets himself.
He takes a picture, sends it over.
So,
Stones.
in your dream, you ask the word. She joins your gaze, and she responds, Alfonso. So if you say the next night.
And I only get one word, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And then what did you say?
You wake up in a cold sweat.
A wet dream, if you will.
I'm gonna ask why.
And her response.
Cutting to the heart of the matter, very smart.
Is conquest.
Expected.
Who?
Fleshling.
Weakness?
Flesh bags.
Well, HK-47, respect.
Me?
All.
Oh, that's fucking spooky.
Wow. You did not speak of this before, Alfonso. That is... What was the word you used?
Spooky.
Spooky indeed.
Or it's supposed to be flesh bags or fleshlings?
I'm neutral. Whatever is a good derogatory term for people who don't have scales.
Meat bags.
Okay.
Meat sacks, meat bags. It's all good for me.
All right.
Oh my goodness, no. Warm-blooded. It's a much better term.
Well, I'm cold-blooded now, so I'm good.
So all of your fire spells are now frost for the purposes of damage and damage resistance.
Nice. And they're blue instead of red.
Mhm.
Nice.
Every time that you roll a 1 or a 2 on damage dice, it becomes a 3 or a 4 respectively.
That's so cool.
Oh, it's a great weapon mastery for spells. Except better.
I'm calling this trait Frostfire.
Frostfire.
So I put a ridiculous amount of thought into what everyone could get for D&D Christmas presents.
And I ruined it.
How did you ruin it? Oh, by having a thing? I was totally just going to give you horseshoes if you can run slightly faster. And I only remembered that you had runes as part of being giant midway through today.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. I'll send you the sheet again, just so you can see what I'm looking at, and probably not take it verbatim, but maybe use it as inspiration for whatever you had in mind.
Yeah, did you guys enjoy these small separate things?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
That was great. I love that shit. Plenty of RP to do. Plenty of things to fucking jam on.
I guess I still wasn't sure how it worked before I started because I just burned through my session.
Yeah, in
I thought it was
hindsight,
more like
maybe
a
Nick
storytelling.
needs more time. Maybe there was another room.
There was totally multiple rooms.
Where did you go after killing those 6 giants? What was the next? There
Never
was
mind the
surely
6
a
giants.
boss.
What happened to the?
Was that it, Basilio? Really?
I mean, that's kind of what I assumed this whole encounter was, just like a fun storytelling session, and then we played the game. I
So
didn't realize it was the entire session, so I just burned through mine. Like I wrote jot notes, and then
Sorry, I mean,
perform it, and then we'll move on.
I mean to ask that question as an opportunity for you to elaborate.
Well, my friend, I mean, obviously the fury of my bow was too much for them. I mean, the behemoths, they stand multiple feet high, but 2 arrows between the eyes, and it certainly does the trick.
2 arrows. How do you strike so quickly?
Well, it's expert skill with the bow. You see my fiddle playing here? It equates.
Surely. Surely. So where do they hold the damsel? They must have had her in a room of some importance, no doubt.
I mean, deep in the depths of the cave, of course. Once I slew all the enemies, it mattered not where they held her.
The villain, did he monologue?
The villain?
The dastard who's responsible for kidnapping this dame.
I mean, I care not for their words, as I slew them by the multiples.
Those floating skulls.
Exactly.
Ironic. I think that such a wordsmith such as yourself would rise to the challenge of a monologue.
Quite possibly. But I'm a little taken aback being put on the spot like this.
Apologies, Basilio. The ale has been plentiful.
Yes. No, I gotta call it here. I gotta go and get ready for bed.
Yeah, it's getting fairly late.
Yeah, I've kind of checked out of my character a little bit, sorry. I'm like starting to clean up my desk and like get ready for bed already. So
Fair.
But
Just
yeah,
like a
no,
big
I was
hole.
just I honestly didn't understand that like it was gonna be like separate game playing.
See,
I
I
just- I
asked
thought it
that,
was
and no one answered.
Yeah.
I was in there
And-
like, should I be preparing something?
I mean, like when I asked you, David, you told me like the outcome of the story.
sorry,
So I
Nick.
assumed
Should have
that-
more clear. So the way that I had it in mind is that in each of these rooms, there was one goblin here that was a real goblin, and he was going to take his turn as a regular turn.
Okay.
And then a goblin leader and one real goblin in here, and everything else, it just will not move and will die when you say you attack it.
Fair enough.
But you said there were giants and orcs, so I had to
I
quick to
mean-
get in giants and orcs.
I mean, from our conversation, I assumed that we were because I asked you, and you said just like I asked if I should have notes ready, and I assumed that I'd be saving the damsel. Not trying to put, but I'm just like
Naturally.
my
No,
thought process on this was like,
I should
just have like a
given-
jot
should have,
note story, basically done.
I should have called you in advance. What my ideal with you was that we would have ran through the actual cave, and then I would have said, "Now make like a ridiculous story to everyone else about what happened in this cave."
Fair enough.
That's
Yeah,
like,
I probably like I was thinking about it today. I should have asked like essentially what was the outcome, because I just assumed I was victorious. And that storytelling
That's a
could have
very
gone like,
Basilio thing of you to do.
well, I obviously was. There's no point in not assuming it. All right, but yeah, no, all good. I had fun. I just
Oh, hell yeah.
burned through my section real fast.
What would have been really hilarious, I thought of this after, because we all got back to the bar and we knew that we survived, so we could have just thrown David some really ridiculous scenarios and see.
Oh.
what he would think.
so
I jumped off the cliff.
That-
I was totally ready for ridiculous scenarios, and that was the real purpose why Ronan was there.
Were you ready for me to run into the gold cave?
I mean, he was ready for you to fight the basilisk. So.
So if you had turned into stone, Rona would have been like, "Clearly, you're not stone. I can see you in front of me. Tell me what actually happened."
Fair.
And
if
that
he died, then you just like
You're pulling my leg.
exactly that. Be like, so what? Your body washed up on the shore, and the dwarves brought you to safety. Something stupid like that.
Is there a
Yeah.
soft reset? Like you made the wrong call.
Yeah,
Restart.
reload the save, try again.
Reload that save.
He just makes you watch that door. Everyone does.
But no, the stuff he gave everyone though is really cool. I'm big into that. That spectral wolf thing, that's really cool.
okay. So on the spectral wolf note,
Mhm.
if I get hit as the spectral wolf, does Ren take damage on top of that?
So the 1 damage that it takes to kill it.
Yeah.
So Ren takes half of the damage that the wolf takes. So if the wolf takes 20, Ren takes 10.
Okay. Cool. Wondering how that works.
Psychic feedback.
Yeah,
It hurts your brain.
real good.
Being around Vasilio hurts my brain.
Yes, it's beautiful. I've never shipped a fucking character pairing so hard as Vasilio and Alfonso.
No, you know you love it.
And then your horseshoes have a rune engraved on them, right? So you can like use it as rune normally would, but without the limit that you normally would have.
I'm not sure yet. I'll have to discuss that with David.
Wait, it's D&D Christmas. Did
I
I get
like
something?
a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god, have you not looked at your neck yet?
Well, what?
No, I
Oh.
don't believe so.
Please look at that item. I don't think I could have coughed harder.
Oh, yeah. I was literally, I didn't even look. I just remembered what the original moves were.
It did 5 things. 5 things.
Oh. Didn't it do those 5 things before?
And then
Yeah,
what about
so,
6 and 7?
Yeah, okay,
did
that's what I
something.
mean. So I remembered it had 5 things before, and I remember what the 5th one was, so I didn't look past it. I didn't scroll down, I just saw it in this little window, and I went, yep, check, and then closed the window. Okay, yeah, I see it here. I'm reading it now.
It's also grown in size. It has become quite large.
Now instead of whispering to him that it tells him it's great, tells him he's great, it just like yells at him.
Hey!
You're
So
fucking amazing!
he hasn't done anything that's made it speak to him yet. No, that's not true. When you were kicking out the Lavender League, it would have said, "Oh yeah, we're so great. We are so amazing at doing these things. No one is a better singer than we are. Look at how we're able to mold the minds of these peasants."
Yeah, like, I don't know if I've imparted this well in my gameplay, but basically this necklace is making me, like, way more confident each time we play. Like, basically I have, like, fanfare in my head continuously, and it's starting to, like, get through my psyche.
Well, the
Like, in the beginning
fanfare
it wasn't this bad.
the fanfare has morphed from you to we.
To we.
Ooh.
What's that?
No longer saying you're great; it's saying we are great.
Oh, that's, we'll have to have a talk about that necklace.
Uh-oh.
But I'm probably don't have the wherewithal to gather that.
That's it. Nick gathers that, but Basilio doesn't count it.
Yeah.
I'm still included in the group of great. Of course.
We are all great, but mostly me. Ha ha ha.
So just out of curiosity, David,
Mhm.
this Dreams of Sindragosa every night, is that going to continue basic going forward, or is it just going to be kind of at your discretion thing?
It'll be an at my discretion thing, because
Okay.
otherwise you could just like, I want to sleep for a month.
I just want to have a conversation, damn it.
I think every session we can do one back and forth. I think that'll be a reasonable pace.
Sounds good.
So, is this all the time, David?
As far as you can tell,
Okay, but like, can other people see it?
they haven't commented.
Okay. Well, apparently my armor is covered in brilliant glowing gems.
Whoa. You are looking.
Yeah. I don't
Did
know when I got
you-
these. Must have been stuck on by an adoring fan.
You have
Makes sense though.
some money to spend there?
Huh.
What's you know this is how you get robbed in the street.
Well,
And the
robbing the
the
Great
biggest-
Basilio is one way to wind up dead. I'm like still staring dead at my like bedazzled jacket.
Oh, that's
the biggest, most brilliant gem is sitting right in the middle of his chest. But he is definitely glowing.
So I'm like look at you guys and just shrug, and then I'm like, yeah, makes sense. I am magnificent.
like wow. It's very. You know, you just heard my whole story about function over form, right?
Did I?
What?
I don't recall. I did.
What purpose do those gems serve?
I'm not sure. Looking down at them, other than to draw all eyes upon me and my magnificence. It works for me,
Oh.
and I'll start like writing a song about my
About how shiny
technicolor
you are.
diamond vest. Because what kind of armor do I actually wear? I wear studded leather. So now it's studded
All of
with
your studs have become gems.
aha. I don't know when this transformation occurred, but
Wow.
it makes perfect sense. For my greatness shines no bounds.
No kidding.
Flamboyant fool wearing ridiculous flamboyant jewelry.
Ha! Jealousy does not become you, my friend Alfonso.
No jealousy.
Ha! We shall see. I just like stared down at my like bejeweled vest.
Fuck, you guys are so quick.
I embody my character. It just flows. But now I have to call it an evening. It's been a blast, guys. I'm gotta take off.
Okie dokie.
I
Have a
am
good night,
alone.
sir. I'm also going to be
But yeah, it's been a pleasure, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
Out.
good night.
Likewise. Good job tonight, David. Peace, guys.
Fucking A, yeah. I love it.
Yeah. That's different, but I dug on it big time.
More of these. Beautiful. Merry Christmas.
Specifically, more of the giving us stuff to play with.
So, what's the I giveth, I taketh away?
Don't
Just
poke
give
the
it.
DM.
No take it. You watch. I'm gonna go to cast Burning Hands and be like, you notice the blue just disappears from your fire, and all of your dice rolls are ones.
You guys are cursed. There's no curses.
Ha.
Not yet. Not yet.
Ha, 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 ha.
Ha, 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 ha.
Ha, 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 ha.
Anyways, I do really need to go to bed. You
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
have a good night.
I thought that giving you your dice rolls are upgraded would be the best possible thing for you.
I think
And
it's
you know what? It's funny when I
hilarious.
asked you that question earlier, that was kind of what I, rather than saying, you know, like, oh, you get a +1 to fire damage rolls like that. It's like your ones become 2s instead. So it's like the max damage stays the same, but the average damage comes up.
That's legit.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
Your average damage goes up by like a lot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's I really surprised you gave me ones and twos, but I will take it.
So, well,
But
I'm worried
it
about
kind of makes sense
this
too, though,
spell
right?
has
Like,
a bunch of d4s, but like, I don't think those are spells. I think most wizard spells have d6s.
yeah, it's more d6s, but I mean, like, it kind of makes sense too. Like, I'm taking in draconic power. Like, that's not weak shit by any means.
No,
That's some pretty serious stuff. It's kind of amazing that I didn't go insane from it. Really,
Well, that's yet to be seen.
true.
Yeah.
There's still a chance.
There's still a chance.
Who knows? I could be becoming thralled without even knowing it. But
oh, and
You and Cinderghost
your,
are
what's it
texting.
called? Your max hit points are reduced by 5. Sorry, I should have said that.
oh, okay.
There's a trade-off. That was your trade-off.
Whoa.
Was that your trade-off? That was not your trade-off. Shoot,
That's
you were-
brutal.
Oh no, you are. What's the word where you're not? Oh shoot, not the opposite of resistant. You are vulnerable to fire and ice
damage.
attacks.
Fire and
Oh, and ice?
Yeah.
Wow, that's surprising.
That stings. You better get that. Do you have elemental absorption yet? You're gonna
No.
need that one. Do
Sorry,
recommend learning it somehow.
Sorry, thank you for reminding me there's a trade-off. I almost forgot.
Absorb elements, rather. That's the one you want.
Whoops, that is not the one I want.
Sorry, someone had a max health change. Oh no, that was something dog instead of dragon. I am
Something,
so happy.
Doug.
I am so happy that he stayed devout.
Did he stayed what?
Devout. Like
Oh.
to Bahamut.
Oh yeah, he didn't. Oh, I was.
Yeah, he didn't-
I thought
he
that
didn't
was
break his
going either
oath.
way.
With how devoted I am to Bahamut, just wouldn't
Yeah.
fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted the wolf.
At the same time, though, think of how cool it would be if we both got spectral wolves.
No, his
know.
wolf would not have been spectral.
Okay.
It's
Uh,
all just a whistle dream.
What did you end
No.
up getting from your devotion?
He has dragon's breath.
Right. Like a Dragonborn's dragon breath, basically?
No, like the spell dragon breath at all times.
Oh.
Whoa.
That's great.
Whoa.
I'll have to look that one up. Is it just like a fire damage spell?
I say at all times, but 3 charges a day seems like a way more reasonable.
That still seems like a lot, honestly, but that's at 3rd level too, so.
It's a level 2 spell. You have 3 of those, right?
No, you have 1 at 3rd level.
Oh, you
And
get
paladins
one.
don't even get their 1st, 2nd level spell until 5th level.
Okay, you get one of these for free every day. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Clayton.
Well, I just don't want him to get sad when you start mowing down enemies with a dragon breath. And he's like, "What the hell?"
I'm fine with it.
Why are all the goblins all of a
That-
sudden
what a-
invalid?
So it lasts for a minute. So it lasts for basically a full fight. So you choose one fight each day to have dragon's breath. Is basically the
That's pretty good. That's a lot of breath.
and
So
it says
much
you get to choose, but you don't get to choose. You get fire. Actually, what element is Bahamut? He's fire, right?
I feel like
Yeah.
he's light.
Is he light?
Is it-
He's not
Yeah, it would
lightning.
probably be radiant. I imagine.
It's like fire is red, but Bahamut is like silver or some shit, isn't he? Well, fire is red and bronze. Bahamut is a metallic dragon as opposed to the chromatics. So he's not a color.
I would seriously consider it would either be radiant or
I would probably
Well-
say radiant, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's the opposition to Tiamat, who's the merging of all elements.
Okay, so I'm perfectly fine with it being radiant. So you get a radiant, which makes it way better against zombies, which is completely reasonable. You are a paladin. Radiant damage is kind of your thing. Yeah. Okay, you have a radiant dragon breath.
Cool.
That's lit. So holy.
Anyways, signing off for real now. See you guys have a good night.
For real,
Sorry, guys.
he's Alfonso, my
Good night.
man. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Also, this took me way more prep time than anything else I've ever done.
Yo, like
Uh,
5
storylines.
different sessions. That's a lot to be prepared for. I hope you're happy with it, because I know we are.
Oh yeah, I'm very happy. I think that it went a lot smoother than I thought. The only thing I feel bad about is Nick. I really like.
Oh,
I should have
yeah.
been more clear with Nick.
You should give him a little surprise next session in hindsight or something, just in case he feels bad about it.
hmm
Going first is hard.
Yes, and because he was the weird one, I shouldn't have let him go first.
Ah. Hindsight's 2020.
hmm Well, he does have a bunch of adoring fans.
Yo, how funny would it be if like a fucking orc like appeared next session? He's like, "Oh my god, it's the Great Vasilio!" Was it completely subservient to him? Like
So-
from the cave, he just like cowered in fear.
There, no,
the
there
great
were no
tales.
orcs. No, I think that someone is going to have bought a masterwork weapon for him.
Ah, true say.
I think that's the appropriate thing that someone from the town would have done.
Oh yeah, because Ronan owes that damsel major favors.
Well, because Ronan was around. Here's my thought: Ronan's been around for a little while. He's been trying to sell his wares. His adoring fan, probably a barmaid, will have pulled all of her tips from the last,
Oh shit!
like, I don't know, like 3 years, let's say.
Oh my god.
You can't make that much
Wow.
with a barmaid.
Fair.
You know, and I'm sure there's the hopes of some reciprocation from Basilio, whether or not he sees it. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
how
think
he
the thing-
treats his groupies.
But the
That's how
most
we're gonna make it
difficult
up to
part
getting them
is
laid.
I also did not think that I was going to let Alfonso get that far and see the defrosting.
Oh, really?
That was a very spur of the moment thing. That was why the wrong part was revealed.
Fucking A. Well, it's fly by the seat of your pants, right?
Uh-huh.
What happens, happens.
So now I don't know where we're going next. Where do you guys want to go next?
Well, we know where the brick is.
Yeah, like, well, what just happened with the Death Knight? We were on our way to help against the undead. We
Mhm.
ended up here. Maybe we feel better about it now. I still imagine we want to link up with the badass crew and help against the undead, but like the brick thing, that's like fuck. Where do we find leads on the Death Knight and the brick? That's
Well-
certainly your angle, right, Nashton?
Yeah.
Oh, and then
And
I
that's-
wanted to make it like super clear to Ashton to answer his question. Is he was guarding the ruins, not just the brick. He grabbed the brick as he was escaping from the ruins, and he overheard the necromancer saying very clear that the entire tower is his phylactery.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We gotta find that
Yeah.
tower.
I understand that now.
Oh,
Okay.
he
I
knows
thought I
where
was
that
just guarding
tower
the
is.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure that brick was still special in some way. It's got to be like a Pokeball.
It's the cornerstone.
The cornerstone.
They couldn't start the reconstruction without the corner.
Yeah. So, that means Bremen, you know, is set to become something a little scary again. But that's
Well,
probably
Bremen's already
something.
scary, but
Well, that badass group that we ran into, they were already fighting undead that were coming from Bremen. They could probably help us out with that.
true. Unless they're already undead.
I guess we'll have to see. Hopefully, they're still fighting a good fight. These people in the neighboring town seem to be quite jolly to parade and party. They're not yet in full retreat, so that must mean the defenses hold strong, right?
They're gonna power before going anywhere else.
What?
Like undead guys are gonna rebuild the tower before
Oh yeah, but like
moving on.
it's gonna be hard to get there.
Sure, we can make it.
Well, yeah, but we're gonna have to go through the cool guys, go through the undead to get to the tower. It's a worthy cause, to be sure, but I don't think it's one that can be rushed.
Oh, no.
And if you ask the townsfolk about, do you remember what the name of that cool guy group was?
No, I think we made
Like
one up on the
Crimson
spot.
something.
We did. It was Crimson
The
something.
Crimson Band.
Crimson Crusade.
That's
Sure.
the one.
I love it.
That sounds right. If
Yeah.
you ask the townsfolk about them next session, they will probably know something.
Well, let's do it.
Is which you might have already done, but just as a thing to.
I'm sure we will again.
But yeah, Ronan was always a little jerk.
Fuck. I thought he was just a
Yeah, we
jerk
just
to the
didn't get
mayor, and the mayor was already a jerk. So I'm like, yeah, okay. Fight fire with fire. Whatever. Most of
No,
your
he's-
NPCs are jerks, so I thought
he's-
nothing of it.
He's full of teenage angst. He's like teenage angst, the character.
Oh my
Oh.
god, didn't read it. Alright, Ronan. Well, now I know you for who you truly are. And, hopefully you learned your lesson with the Lavender Brigade and we don't have to run you through because you were treated with them. I don't want to see you with those guys again. They're bad folk. Could be like his fucking mother.
Only one of them was purple.
Yeah, the one. The one he was talking to.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have words if we see that man again.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you will. Oh.
Fucking Ronan. What a plug. I got a sword now. I'm just like, ugh. I need to, make my own now. Melt it down. Fuck Ronan. This was just a free
Runes
sword.
in it.
We'll find a better sword. We'll make a better sword. This guy wasn't even proud of his sword. I'd be proud of my sword that I made.
He makes a lot of swords.
For profit. Well, in and of itself, that's not so bad, I guess. But he's has some pretty bad judgment, I find.
Back. Thing in the oven.
Yo, David, you
Mhm.
got some juice in you?
Yeah, medium amount. Why?
Want to play some Smash?
Oh, not that much juice.
Oh, only a moderate amount of juice. Smash requires much juice.
Smash requires a lot more juice than
So
I have.
much juice. Many more strokes than is the regular juicing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I have enough juice for chatting, but that's about it.
That's fair.
Sorry.
I got juice for Smash.
Hey! The sick man has regained his constitution.
I'm still ill, but I'm gonna be home in 15 minutes, so is that okay?
Well, yeah. I don't see why not.
I will let
I
you
just wanna
guys go
keep you
for
up.
tonight. Oh, so Troy, if you want a sky rune,
Oh, yeah, let's talk about this.
we could do sky too, because that was what I was thinking. Was either speed or sky.
What does Sky do?
Back in 15.
Please. Yeah, so I was looking at these runes and they mean something for weapons and armor that I'm sure is not gonna carry over to smithing because they're way too powerful in that form.
Yeah, it
But,
doesn't make as much sense for shoes either.
Yeah.
So I was thinking either sky, which lets you, I would say, during your movement, you can run through the air as if you had a fly speed.
Oh, so
Uh,
you're saying sky as in just like actual flying versus like cloud giants.
Yes.
Okay.
But, and this is a big but, is you have to end your turn on solid ground.
Well, that's fair. The
Uh,
the part about the sky rune that I thought was cool was like the misdirection aspect. I don't know how that would equate to fucking shit like that. I don't know.
So,
It's hard to say
sorry, you're
whether.
saying- let me read the.
Yeah,
the
I don't
sky
mean like sky the word. I mean like cloud giants are like whoa, kind of cool.
Because I had read this before.
Like when I said like giants had like crazy civilizations and mastersmiths, like there was some truth to that. In fact, one of the runes on here like makes you a master smith. The fire rune, the Ild rune.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be a funny one to have on a hammer, but not on
That
a
would-
shoe.
Much more reasonable on a hammer.
Yeah. Maybe someday. But the whole like
this giant, totally different giant that I was thinking of.
ah.
I understand now. This is the Norse giants.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's a very Norse like magic kind of jam. And the ones that I took like in my class
Mhm.
were the Uvar, the storm rune,
Mhm.
and the what was the other one? I think it was the hill rune, the hog. So like tanky and help my friends be tanky. Those are the two that I know best as the two that I chose in my class. But I can
Mhm.
change those every level. But as far as what I'd inscribe into a weapon, yeah, like I just kind of want to know like what degree of what this would mean on an item if there would be an abstract for such a thing. I don't even know. It's untread. It's untread kind of ground.
So I would want to make it feel like it lines up with shoes, right? Like
Right.
that I
Yeah.
think is the biggest thing.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Okay. So like,
So if you were to do a cloud giant, instead of sleight of hand, I would do acrobatics.
makes sense. Makes sense. Would that all be all that it is? Just acrobatics?
Let's see. In addition,
Because that doesn't really appeal to me in and of itself. Like a proficiency is like, I want like a combat bonus. Like maybe like a frost one would be
so
better.
For the cloud rune, if you wanted to do something, I don't want to just give you exactly that because then it's
No,
like, listen,
absolutely
take
not.
the
That's
cloud later.
fucking powerful.
It's not even just the power.
It doesn't thematically fit with shoes.
Yeah, it
Like
would make sense if you jumped in front of it yourself.
yeah, like
Um,
in my mind, like the cloud rune would be more like maybe like the mobile feat or like the scout feat, where like you can move and stuff like that. But at the same time,
you could have advantage on acrobatics, and you could have the monk feat, where you can run across water or vertical surfaces as if they were not vertical.
whoa, interesting. I can run up walls. I could be Spider Centaur.
So I think that would fit appropriately. But it's not a climb speed, so it's you have the same thing where you should end on solid ground.
I have to get up.
Yeah.
Which is, interesting.
You have to be running to run up it.
Well, what do you mean? Like there has to be like a lead time?
No, like you can't stop.
Oh,
Like you
yeah,
can't like
no.
run halfway up, attack, then
That's
continue running.
interesting. So it's like a spider climb, but without the staying there.
Yeah.
So what would Frost be then?
So Frost is all about being calm.
Calm and strength.
Mhm.
That one's a more simple one. I didn't take it because it was kind of boring.
I don't know how I would make that one work.
It is pretty boring.
So I might give you a strength score of +2 is basically just a +1 to checks that involve holding your footing. So if you're trying to shove someone or being shoved, have the same effect as having a strength +1. It's kind of meh.
That's fair.
Because what else is calm good for?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not thinking of these things correctly. What
What do you think of an effect like the
have anything with
skirmisher effect?
concentration.
No, I don't do concentration because I'm not a caster. So this is more of a
So
cloud thing.
I would like skirmisher for cloud. I think that could work.
That could have pretty funny synergy with getting back into like the ideal lance range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. I could be okay with that.
Yeah, I might be totally. That's a funny one too because it it puts me in the cavalier position again. But if I need to hold a line, it's like useless again. It fucking everything about Kreia just like contrasts against what the party needs her to be.
That's fine. Don't worry about
It's
the part.
really funny. Yeah, if there's ever a duel, it'll be sick. But if there's like 10 zombies, it's like, well,
Just
do
gotta
what we
take them
do.
out one at a time.
So I like skirmisher.
Yeah, it fits with the theme. I'd be down
it-
with that if you are.
Is that good enough? Yeah, I think that is. Yeah, I'm down with that.
That's pretty sick.
And I don't count this as one of your attunements.
No? Okay, I'm down. We don't have any attunements yet, but that's good to know.
You might. They might be coming. Who knows?
Someday.
Giants totally don't hang out with orcs, right? That's not a thing they do.
Whoa, actually, yes.
Is
They do. There was a big plot line in Legend of Drizzt where the Kingdom of Many Arrows, actually, the one that's in this campaign, allied with frost giants specifically. Because they came down from the spine of the world mountains to kill dwarves and help them kind of found their nation. So it's like a lot of frost giants joining Obuld's army.
Okay.
I think that's the only giants that I've heard of in that particular battle, but
Okay.
I know their culture is way further than that. Frost giants being like very vain, very brutal, very strength oriented. Vain. Ugh. Been a while.
So what do you think? Not that there is a 7 deadly sin theme, but what do you think your sin would be?
Oh, good question. I need to
What would Kreia's
wait.
sin
What are the
be?
7 deadly sins again?
Lust, pride, wrath, greed, envy, sloth, and something. There's definitely not a theme of that for cursed items going around in the world.
Huh. Kreia would probably be pride.
I was thinking that, but you had the you humbled yourself and put on horseshoes.
It was hard. It was very hard. But at the end of the day, her character sheet, the way I wrote it, is that she does not take insults well.
Mm.
So that's probably feeds into the pride thing. Like she left because viewpoints.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's like, well, tell me if I'm interpreting even what I wrote correctly. But where do I put this here? That's my readout. You got wanderlust, accepting, change is great, but at the same time, I don't like to be insulted. Like I have a pride, even though I'm accepting. So it's probably gonna be pride.
Interesting. So that's a very different than the pride that I think of.
What is it you had in mind?
No comment.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Like I'm very much just like everyone else can do whatever the hell they want as long as they don't impede on me. That's the kind of pride that she has.
Okay. It's really interesting because what I did for pride would probably be more appropriate for vanity.
Ah. Yeah, she's like a woodsman, like not very vain.
Yeah. But I am so excited for the final form of Nick's item.
There's a vain man if you've ever seen one.
Oh. Holy, so close.
Oh, I can't wait to see how that turns out. Oh my God, him and
It's gonna be
Clayton
the
have
last
been
piece of the
hilarious.
tower.
The last piece of the tower. It's a brick in that amulet the whole time.
The random gem that goes up at the top.
I also think that you guys are going to be furious because you can no longer sneak.
I was never that
Yeah.
great at sneaking.
Oh.
If Facilio is going to be screaming the whole time, well,
No, Celio is covered in extremely bright gems. He cannot hide or sneak.
oh, is that how that reads? Amazing. Amazing. He's just like a fucking mirror. It's like shining light into everything. Facilio, your proficiency in stealth, where is it?
There's nothing that I have done compares to his magic. Oh.
That's hype. That's hype.
Oh. And he's like, everyone got things, but I didn't get things. And all I was thinking was like, Nick, you got the best things.
You got the
You got the best thing day one.
You just didn't realize it yet. The fucking sentient items.
Oh, but I should have given him a thing. It's like he's not wrong. I very specifically didn't give him a thing. I just gave him gold.
Gold is good. No, he can buy a donkey.
I gave him substantially less gold than I gave Clayton.
Clayton's entire motivation has been gold.
Oh goodness.
Vasilio got fame, and he just used that fame to do a thing.
He did get a lot of fame.
Yeah, like that's something. That's something. As long as
sang in
that
a
like
song.
comes out in the world.
Right, like, I think that's the thing that I did for Vasilio. But
Sang him a song.
it's a good point though. That wasn't for Nick.
He needs some screen time. I don't know.
Oh.
We'll see how she goes.
We'll see how she
More
goes.
opportunities will continue to come up. That's how fame works.
I'm gonna head to bed.
All
Okay,
right.
buddy.
Well, thanks
Ah,
for the
good
jam,
night.
and it was a great session.
Oh, I'm really happy that turned out somewhat well.
Somewhat well indeed. Greatly well. Oh, have a good night, man.
Good night, guys. Also, yeah, he's like, I want Ashton back. I'm like, no. I said everyone gets their own journey.
Oh. You want Ashton back.
Oh, goodness.
Too bad.
Too bad you get dog Ashton.
Dashton.
Oh, good night, guys.
Oh.
Good night.